Hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome. How's everybody doing today? Did everybody have a good weekend? Hello, Can. How are you? Did everybody have a good weekend? Welcome, everybody. I took a couple days break over the weekend. I love you guys. I'm glad to be back. We're going to start this whole new week off with the trial of Harmony Montgomery. Her father is starting tomorrow, going on trial for the unaliving of her and the brutally abuse that he put that child through, and also after she was alive, what he'd also done to her. Her also her stepmom as well. Hello, Angel Loader. Hello, Rhonda. Hello, Crystal Bambridge. Hello, Sherry Lee. Hello, Misty, Crooked Arrow, Sammy. Hello, Can. Hello, Sammy. Hello, Maya May. It went. Huh? Hello, Angie. Hello, Angel, Audria Presley. Hello, always late. Hello, everybody. Come on in. Come on in. I didn't know that there was a child missing in my town since February 4th, but there is a young girl missing in my town here in Morristown. Hey, Amy Lynn. Hello, Diamond's Creation. She's been missing since the 4th near the school. There's an elementary school here. I don't know the details or any of it yet, but I seen that Justin was covering it and it said she'd been missing from here. So I was like, wow. Harmony's father is in prison getting ready to sit. Hello, Mama Four. Hello, Gail. Hello, Robin B. Always late. Come on in, you guys. So I wanted to come on here. Hey, and I did post 2 videos on my Beautiful Design channel. If y'all have not went over there and watched it, they're thrift store, antique store videos. I posted them. We actually went into like an antique store and I went into Goodwill. I've not posted those yet. I'm getting ready to post them here in a little bit, but I posted the antique store. Hello, Laura P. Y'all come on in. Hit that like button as you all come in. Today we're going to talk about, I'm just going to give everybody a little bit of a download on Harmony Montgomery's case. I know most of y'all are pretty familiar with her case, but it's a sad case. Hello, Connie Branch. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Daisy. So happy to finally catch a live. I've been off YouTube for a while now. Well, welcome back. Hello, Laura. Benny is gone. Yes. I was unaware at the YouTubers that had went live talking ish about um my bull and saying all kinds of bad stuff, but you know what, I'm just going to leave it at them because it just shows people what kind of people they really are by saying stuff like that. My neighbor told my husband the other day, the one that has the cows that rents the lot across the road, told my husband that he had a $9,000 Angus bull and it was real friendly like Benny, and hey, walk the line, and that his wife had went up and petted it. Hey, Connie Branch. And his wife had went up and petted it, turned around, started weed eating, and he attacked her and threw her like 30 feet up in the air and was trying to kill her. And he ran out, he looked through the window and saw it, and he ran out there and he had to shoot his bull. He said it was a $9,000 bull. He said, but it was killing his wife. So, yeah, I didn't hear anything because if don't watch them anymore. Yeah, it's best not to if they're going to be like that. But I reckon there was a couple of them that grabbed on it and ran with it, of course. But I don't, I don't even care, to be honest with you. what they say. They obviously don't know anything about farming to do that, and they're just out of content, I guess. Daisy, I'm feeling sad today. My best friend and ex-boyfriend passed away a couple days ago. Oh, I'm sorry, Gail. Prayers for you. You feel bad for Benny about Benny? Me too. My heart's broke about him. I mean, when you don't even want to fight with people about saying mean stuff about you, you're pretty tore up. And I'm at that point where I don't care. Hey, Dee Dee, we got King Dee Dee in here. So, I want to give y'all a little bit of a backstory about Harmony. Harmony Montgomery was born addicted to drugs from her mom, Crystal, and she was given to a foster home. I think she'd been with Crystal for a little while, and she was given over to a foster home. Here's my new channel if anybody wants to subscribe up to it. And for a little while, and then I think her mom that she was in a with foster parents, and then I think her mom got custody back of her, but then her mom slipped and went back on drugs and was in a rehab center. And while she was in the rehab center, she her father pursued custody, and because he was the biological father, they did not look into his history of violence, but this man has a long, extensive history with violence. Adam Montgomery does. And so they turned this little baby over to Adam and his wife, Kayla. And that's when the severe and extreme abuse happened to this baby. And in my opinion, Kayla was just as bad as Adam for what she sit back and let Adam do to that little precious baby girl. And so now we're looking at the trial that's coming up. Hey, Eric Steen Eric Rays. Hello. Hello from Norway. Hello. Welcome, Norway. Well, anyways, so Adam, let me look this up here. Harmony's case. Adam was supposed to had the last time Harmony's mother Crystal seen her was in hang on. Was she was FaceTiming her on a phone call with Adam, which Adam got a very aggressive with Harmony. And let me see if I can give y'all a little bit of an update on this so y'all get a little bit of it. For anybody that's been following me, they know about Harmony's case. We've had Bashley up here on the panel. We've talked about Harmony's case quite a bit. Hey, EMT. And so, let me pull this up here. Adam Montgomery got custody of Harmony. So, spring around Easter of 2019, Crystal called Harmony on a FaceTime call. And let's see, where's that at? Hang on. Let me see if I can pull this up on YouTube instead. I've got it on my older ones. Let me see if I can find it on my older videos that I have of Harmony's case live streams. So, well, let me take that down for now. I'll pull up Harmony's picture so y'all can see her. So, Adam got custody of her. Crystal was on a FaceTime call with her, the mother, and the last time she seen Harmony was on that FaceTime call. Hey, Sassy Gigi. And so she said Harmony was very scared. He kept muting the call and would scream at Harmony, and then abruptly got mad and hung up. And she said that she tried to call after that and find out, but he just disappeared. So she just let it go and she didn't pursue it for 2 years. For 2 years, she never tried to find her baby. And hey, we got an interview here with her. She tells the story, but she left this baby, okay? She left this baby in the hands of a complete and thorough monster, okay? So let's see an interview with her. We all know what he did to Harmony. We're going to go back over that again. What he did to baby Harmony was horrible. But for a mother to go 2 years without even checking on her baby.
The life of little Harmony Montgomery is almost too tragic to talk about. Her death was so violent and so utterly reprehensible that it's almost too disturbing to talk about. But tonight, we will talk about both, because Harmony deserves to be remembered, and this little angel deserves justice. Harmony was born to Crystal Story and Adam Montgomery, but unfortunately for Harmony, both her parents suffered from addiction problems. These issues were addressed by a judge in family court in Massachusetts in a questionable hearing where Adam, a career criminal, was granted sole custody of Harmony in New Hampshire. Harmony then lived with her father and stepmother, Kayla.
Now, let me grab this link if anybody could put out a fair use for me too. Kayla, in my opinion, the stepmom, she helped. This is court TV, guys. She helped him. She sit back and let this man severely abuse that baby. She sit back and let it happen. In my opinion, she's just as guilty as Adam is. So here we go.
The couple was evicted from their home and began living in a car. That's where prosecutors say Adam murdered his daughter in 2019. For 2 years, no one reported her missing until Crystal started making some noise and alerted authorities, who began searching for Harmony. Harmony has never been found.
And the reason why Crystal started making some noise is because her son, her baby son, hey, my 3 sons, is adopted family wanted to reach out to Harmony and, like, I think give her a card or a birthday gift. And that's why Crystal started searching after 2 years for her son, her daughter, knowing that she lived with a monster. She never all of them failed that baby. All of them did.
But now Adam has been charged with her murder, and Kayla, his estranged wife, will be the prosecution's most important witness at trial. Tonight, we go in depth into the life of this beautiful little girl with her mom, Crystal.
Yeah, Crystal, I just feel like Crystal, in my opinion, failed Harmony. I'm sorry. Let's go to the interview of Crystal. I think not only did CPS,
People around the nation,
not only did CPS fail Harmony, but this mom spent 2 years and didn't even try to find her baby girl, in my opinion. Yes, Miss Daisy, she's guilty of crime too. She did nothing to stop it or report the poor Harmony. That's right. Kayla, now Crystal's the biological mother. Kayla is the stepmom who witnessed it all. Hey, Choppy, how are you? So let's go ahead and see what Crystal has to say. She's going to play the victim now, but she failed Harmony too.
Around the world know Harmony's story, and they send their prayers and their love and everything else. And I hope you've felt that. Can we start tonight? Because, and this is going to be a tough hour. I know it's going to be difficult, but let's please start. And you were gracious enough to send us a bunch of photos that we've never seen before. And let's focus right now on the times that Harmony was happy and what that was like, what she was doing, and what you remember.
She was just such a kind little girl, you know. Ever since she was so little, you know, she was just, they always said the first day she was born, she was like bright-eyed and she stared right at you and lifted her head right up. And, you know, she was ready, you know, she was ready for the world. And every person that ever met her said, she's a light, you know. She lights up the room when she walks in, you know. She couldn't stand to see anybody sad or mad. She's just so happy, you know. She loved to dance and sing, and she always telling me, "Mommy, I'm gonna be a superstar," you know. And she sure is. You know, she loved her brother. You know, that's one thing I can say. She loved being a big sister. At first, she wasn't very fond of it. She was like, "Oh no, what is happening?" You know. But she fell in love with him right away. Right away, she wanted to do everything for him. You know, feed him, and I think for a little while she thought he was a doll. But then I think, you know, I kept having to explain to her that she was, you know, he was not a doll and he was very much a real baby. Yeah, she just so much life, filled with so much life. We would walk. I was in a program when I had gotten her back. You know, I was always fighting to get clean. You know, that was one thing that she did for me was she made me realize that there was more to life than just the bad things, you know, drugs and parties and, you know, toxicity, you know. When she was born, I realized I didn't want that anymore. And I wanted things to be different. I wanted to break the cycle. So I just kept going to programs, and I tried to make it so she didn't really know. She called it our adventure because I tried not to let her know that this was a sober house. You know, I tried to let her think that this is just where we had to be right now so that mommy could be better. And she didn't care because she had all these friends and life was as normal as it could be for her, you know. You know, she was going to school and she had all these friends and there was always activities going on, always birthday parties and events. And, you know, they were always doing these amazing things for the kids, you know. So she was happy, you know, and I just want to emphasize that so much, that like her life wasn't always bad. It was only bad when he got her. She was very much loved by everybody who met her. Like, you know, her daycare people, they still reach out to me, and you know, really anybody that she left a mark on. I'm very close with her foster parents. They've been my family from day one, you know. They believed in me when no one else did, you know.
You know what I'm hearing
Michelle
from you,
fought
Crystal?
alongside me.
You know what I'm hearing?
Yeah. What?
This little girl saved you.
She did. She really did. She saved me.
Why did
You know, and I was trying to do the same for her. But nobody would listen to me. It was like I have never in my life felt so invisible.
Well, let's
You know, it was basically
talk
you know,
about that because I'm a lawyer and I've gone through and tried to figure out what happened at this hearing where Adam ended up getting custody. And is it true that you were in the courthouse in a different courtroom taking care of another matter involving one of your other children in front of a different judge, and the judge that was handling Harmony's case went forward without you in the room because you were in front of another judge involving your other child?
Yes. Actually, I wasn't in the same building. So Jameson's case, because he was born in Boston, his case was out of Boston. I had to pick between the two hearings. And it was basically, if I was at either one of them, if I wasn't at either one of them, it was going to go bad for me. So I called my lawyer, Frantic in Lawrence, and I said, I sent over from that courthouse to the other courthouse that I was proof that I was there. He said, I will, quote, fight for a continuance. That never happened. There was no continuance granted. There was no continuance fought for, and they moved forward and handed him custody. So in the same day, not only did my son get adopted, but my daughter got handed over to the one person that I begged them never to give her to. There were so many family members that had stepped up. There were family members that had been vetted and still denied. There's just so many things that people don't know that what really happened. Like, there were family that wanted her.
This is Adam.
You know,
Found him. That's Adam actually right there when they found him. So she lost both of her children in one day. She picked the wrong child to go to because that child the son was adopted out to two loving family members, and Harmony was given to this monster. Thank you, Diamonds. Who got the membership? Thank you, Diamonds. I don't know who got the membership, but thank you so much, you all. Thank you, Diamonds. God bless you. I don't know who got it, but thank you. Let me continue on, guys. This is Adam, the monster. When they found him, he was homeless, living in a car.
oh, Michelle would have adopted her.
And who is Michelle, for folks at home who don't know?
Oh, awesome, Wildfire.
Her foster mother. When I didn't have her, Michelle did. That's her other mommy. And Tim, her husband, will always be Harmony's real father. The only man that showed her what real fatherly love was like. Truly, she loved him very much. And I want people to know as well that Harmony didn't call Adam Dad. She called him Adam. I really want people to let that sink in. Because, I think people skimmed.
They're asking him about where Harmony is at this point. He's acting like he don't know where Harmony is. He's a monster, a pure monster.
Through a lot of the OCA report and things because out of anger,
And again, when I went through the history of this, Crystal, going through the history of this, like in handing Harmony over to Adam, who's number one in another state, there's like no one's questioning or finding out, well, does he work? Does he have a place? Is he a career? Is he a career criminal?
Yes.
Does he understand how to take care of Harmony? None of this happened in the hearing.
Nothing. Mind you, was well aware she was disabled. She was blind in her right eye. She was not technically developmentally disabled because she could talk very well by the time she was 2. I remember people didn't believe me that she was 2. Like, as soon as she would open their mouth, they'd be like, she's not 2, no way. And I'm like, she's 2, I'm serious. Like, I don't need to lie. I'm not going to carry her birth certificate around, but she's, she's 2. She's just very smart girl, And the thing that baffles me is that if Harmony at any point by DCF, law enforcement, anybody had pulled her aside away from Adam and Kayla and said to her, you are safe now. Is something going on? it would have been like word vomit. She would have told them everything because she would have knew in her head, I'm going to be safe now. She was smart. And that's why Adam made sure she never spoke to anyone without him in the room.
So,
and it sickens me. No one ever did that. They never pulled her aside. You know, she was 5. She was old enough to talk for herself.
and at the time this is happening, like you said, you had to choose between 2 courtrooms for 2 different children, and in the other courtroom, you're helping your son be in a great home, right? And that's so. Like that's not easy, right? That's not easy for a parent to say, "Wow, I know that I'm struggling right now, but my son, we've got an amazing place for him to be, and if I go to this courtroom, I know he's going to be okay." And you did that.
I thought they would give me a chance to go to that court date, you know, like give me a week, you know, just to make it to that court date for Harmony, you know, because I had made it to every single court date, every visit, every class they made me do. I did everything they asked, and they couldn't even give me a continuance.
Yeah, to me that's inexcusable when you're making a decision about a small child and you are deciding to give that child to a career criminal who has his own substance abuse issues, and you haven't done any sort of background look at what's going on in his life and can he actually take care of the child. That's problematic when you don't have the.
He has an extensive violent past from the age of like 12 years old. Adam Montgomery was a violent career criminal. He was a suspect in or a person of interest in a murder case and everything. And so for them to give that baby over to that monster is just, I cannot believe it. I don't even want to believe it. That poor baby, what she had to endure. You know, if she knew that the boy was getting adopted out to a good family, and she knew that Harmony was going to be placed in that monster's home, she should have came to Harmony's hearing and let the guys adopt Harmony out. She was on drugs, Ellen. Drugs. Drugs is always the case. Yes, court TV, credits to court TV, guys. It's a sad. So many people failed her, including the biological mother here. And we're not even going to get started yet on Kayla, the the horrible stepmom that needs to go to jail too.
One person in the courtroom who knows everything and can call into question the decisions. So that decision is made, and I want to go through a little bit of a timeline for the folks at home and then have you kind of fill in the blanks for us. So February 2019 is when he's granted custody. April of 20.
These people come in here running their mouths when we've been covering this case for 2 freaking years. And we know she did not search for Harmony for 2 years. What's wrong with you people? Y'all need to really do your research on this case. Her mother tried to see Harmony and was not allowed. Adam's caseworker was a childhood friend. We know that, but she did not try for 2 years to find her daughter, because if she would have tried for 2 years, she would have found her daughter. She knew exactly. She should have stepped off that phone when she knew that he was being abusive to that child that day she last FaceTimed him. And she should have called the police. She should have did what she could do. I don't believe that as far as I can. It's not until her son that was adopted out's adopted parents wanted to seek out where Harmony was is when she did. 2 years later. Don't come in here with that bullshit. We've been covering this case for 2 years ourselves. So don't come in here with that. We know all about this case. Now go on somewhere with your fact checker, because you don't know about this case Not like we do anyway. I've covered this case for over 2 years. So get your ass out of my chat with that bullshit. I don't care what Crystal said. She did not look for that baby until they looked for her, the family of the adopted family of her son that did it. She can say what she wants. She didn't try. Now get out of here with your BS. Because I don't like people that come in here that don't know what they're talking about, trying to tell me what I'm talking about with this case. Sorry about that rant.
2019, my understanding, and you can correct us after we go through all this, is the last communication FaceTime between you and Harmony. Then in December of 2019, this is the allegation of when Harmony is murdered by Adam. Flash forward to November of 2021, you call the Manchester police to report Harmony missing. Then in December, the Manchester police begin looking for Adam to try to locate Harmony. And then 2 days later, you write to the mayor, desperate, requesting help here. So I guess the biggest question most people have is...
was desperate looking for Harmony. 2 years later, 2 years after she watched that bastard be mean to that baby and hang up that phone and mute, she saw how scared her baby was. Did she pick up the phone and call the police? Did she fight? I would have fought through thin and thick to get to my baby. I wouldn't have waited 2 years to find my baby. 2 years. Sorry, guys. But people come in here, act like they know about this case. They don't.
Between April of 2019 and when you start making a lot of noise in November of 2021, what's going on? What do you know is what is happening in your life, and what is happening?
Today is the 23rd of November 2023.
Is when Easter of 2019 was the last time that Crystal saw her baby. She waited till 2021 to seek out her baby. This woman failed that baby. I don't care what anybody says. She failed her. Sorry about that, y'all, but it pisses me off when people act like that. They don't know about this case.
A hard time myself. I was in the shelter, pregnant with my son. Just trying to make a way for myself, really. But I had no contact, like I said before, he had cut me off everything, even if I would make a fake page or a new page and message them, it was automatic read and blocked. And, so I just started doing my own digging, asking around, driving around, like little things I could possibly do. If I was in Manchester, I would just drive around and to parks I just remember at the visits I had for him, he would always have me meet him at the Dunkin' Donuts on 2nd Street. But I didn't know anything other than that because he was, at the time when I was seeing her, a lot of people don't know, but I was tiptoeing around this man. Any little thing he told me I could or couldn't do, I did because I knew he would make me never see her again. I knew it. He finally had the control he wanted and he was going to use it. So until I finally couldn't deal with it, we had the agreement that I was starting a job and I needed to FaceTime for that week until I got my schedule and I knew when I was going to be able to have my visits with her. We agreed. Right away, the FaceTimes were chaotic, just very chaotic. There was he's muting it, pausing it, shutting the camera off, and just every single time she just looks terrified. And he's, I'm asking questions, he's yelling at me saying I can't ask her that, or she's not going to answer that, or, just, I knew in my gut, man, it was all wrong. He was acting erratic. I knew he was getting high. And there was just nothing I could do. I was being told by this DCF worker that I was a bitter baby mother and I was
Why
mad
didn't you
because
pick
he
up
had
the
moved
phone
on,
and call the
not
police?
because he was.
Let me tell you something. If I knew that this some bitch had my little precious innocent baby in his house and he was being mean to her and he was doing drugs again, my ass would have walked to that damn house. I would have found his ass out like a bloodhound. I would have busted that door down. I would have kicked his ass and took my baby out of there and took her straight to the police station to have her examined. There's no way I would have waited around for 2 years. She is full of poop soup, y'all. She didn't pursue this baby until 2 years later. She went on and lived her little life the way she lived it.
Acting crazy, or she hadn't gone to school, hadn't seen a doctor. His own family was making reports as well alongside me, giving me all this information about what he's doing there, and nothing's happening. And it started even back then. Like, the report started back then when I was still having phone calls, and nothing happened. Nothing. And everybody knew he was getting high, including his family. Nobody did a thing. And it's like, there were people there. Like, there was only so much I could literally do, and I did everything I could, but I had to survive myself. I didn't live in Manchester. I didn't live in New Hampshire. I lived in Boston. No vehicle. You know what I mean? Like, I did what I could with what I had.
Yeah.
I really did.
All right,
I don't believe
Crystal, it's going to be. We're going to take a short break, Crystal. Take a moment. Thanks again for joining us. Crystal's going to stay with us this hour. Coming up next hour, we've got big news in the Utah student case. All that coming up in the next hour.
In Moscow, Idaho, a big hearing in the Idaho.
She should have reported it to the police. I do not believe her. I think she went on with her life. She forgot about Harmony. I think she thought about her, but I think she didn't want to rub that bear, and she let this monster. Well, Harmony was unalive by the end of the year. So the last time she saw Harmony was in Easter. The police came and CPS came in November of 2019. And by December of that year, Harmony was unalived. December 7th, I think, is the day that he killed Harmony. It's very sad. Very, very, very sad. So let's see what else she has to say.
Stated that on the day the Chrysler Sebring broke down, known to be December 7th, 2019, as discussed in further detail below, Adam Montgomery struck Harmony, which caused her death. Kayla stated that while living in the vehicle together, Adam was extremely upset that 5-year-old Harmony was.
Okay, Kayla, that's the one I want to address, the stepmom, the one that sit back and let this baby, hang on, I want to show you a picture of this. Kayla. Well, I'll show it here in a minute. She's the stepmom. She's the one that sit back and witnessed this man beating this child, starving this child, doing everything he could to this baby. She even concealed the baby's body and helped cover it up by help pouring lime on the baby. It's just disgusting. And why she's not being charged, I don't understand at all. But here we go.
To be December 7th, 2019, as discussed in further detail below, Adam Montgomery struck Harmony, which caused her death. Kayla stated that while living in the vehicle together, Adam was extremely upset that 5-year-old Harmony was not saying when she needed to go to the bathroom and was having accidents in the car. Kayla stated that after each accident, Adam would get upset and would strike Harmony in the face and head with a closed fist. Kayla stated that on December 7th, 2019, prior to the vehicle breaking down, Adam struck Harmony in the face and head on 3 separate occasions because she had a bathroom accident. This happened while Adam was driving the vehicle. Kayla describes that Harmony was in the rear seat on the passenger side, and while Adam was driving, he turned his body and delivered sets of 3 to 4 blows with a closed fist to Harmony's face and head on 3 separate occasions over the course of a few minutes. Kayla stated that after the final blow, Adam said words to the effect of that he felt something or heard something when he hit Harmony and, quote, "I think I really hurt her this time. I think I did something." Harmony began making a moaning type noise, which went on for roughly 5 minutes and then stopped. At no time did anyone stop or get Harmony medical attention as the result of this assault. Kayla said this happened in the morning while the family was on their way to Burger King on Route 3 in Manchester, and afterwards the family returned to the parking lot of the Colonial Village apartments. The family stayed at Colonial Village for approximately 20 minutes, during which time no one checked on Harmony. Kayla could not recall exactly what they did during this 20-minute time period. Kayla said that after approximately 20 minutes, the family left the Colonial Village apartments, and shortly thereafter, their car broke down. Kayla said she thought the car died at approximately 8 or 9 a.m. According to the Manchester Police Department records, the car was broken down in the intersection of Elm Street and Webster Street at approximately 12:11 p.m. on December 7th, 2019. Kayla said it was at that time that she and Adam discovered that Harmony was not breathing and was deceased. Kayla stated that Adam went to the trunk of the vehicle, removed clothing from a black and red Under Armour duffel bag, and placed the lifeless body of Harmony into the bag. Kayla stated at no point did either of them have any conversation about getting any type of life-saving measures for Harmony, and that Adam simply put Harmony's dead body into the bag and walked it back to the parking lot of the Colonial Village apartments.
That's from the arrest affidavit, newly unsealed, with all the details on what prosecutors allege happened to Harmony.
Oh, and it gets worse. It gets much, much worse. What he does to this little baby's body throughout the months. He sticks her in refrigerators. He sticks her up in the ceiling. He sticks her in closets. He eventually takes her out of the duffel bag. Kayla helps. She assists and applies lime to her and sticks her back in the duffel bag. He puts her in a cooler. Then he gets her back out of the duffel bag, and she's more and more, her body's becoming more and more, you know, deceased, And so what he does then is Kayla helps. He stuffs her into a small tote bag. She doesn't fit. Yes, she's his biological child. Yeah. So Kayla says that he pursues and punching till he breaks her bones to where she will fit in the duffel bag. Then they take the duffel bag, stick it in between their 2 children in a stroller, walk it down to the street to his work where he keeps it in his work's cooler, freezer. When they had her decomposition, thank you. And then when she was in the ceiling, she leaked out of the ceiling. It's just a nightmare what he did to this child. And then he ultimately dismembered the baby and scattered her everywhere. According to what Kayla said, she was not aware of the place that he did that to her. So let's see what they got to say here.
Montgomery at the hands of her father. Crystal Sorey, Harmony's mom, is still with us tonight. Crystal, when you learn those details of what they say happened to Harmony,
We're going to be covering this trial.
what went
this
through your
week.
mind?
I just remember being in a meeting that morning, and I just kept saying, like, I knew he had murdered her for something small, you know, something that she would really have no control over. So when they told me that, you know, he had reached over and done what he had done because she had been having multiple accidents, I went up, like, you know, I jumped up to kind of run out the room to get some air, and I fainted. It was like, it just blew me away, you know, because she had a history of accidents when she was scared or really stressed out, and she didn't understand what was going on. She would have accidents because it was like her way of like letting you know, like, something's going on, I don't understand, and I need you to pay attention to me, you know. So I know her history, you know. So like when I heard those things, it was like, how could you fault her for that trauma, you know, that trauma response? You know, she was 5 years old, you were living in a car. It's not like there was an available bathroom, and it's not like she wasn't terrified of this man already. If this man was punching you in the face for every little thing, would you tell him you had to go to the bathroom? No, you wouldn't. You know, so it was just, and then it just got worse and worse and worse. And I kept telling myself, and my family kept repeating, that anything that happened after she was with my mom and my brothers, you know, it wasn't her. I try to tell myself that anything he did to her after, she was already at peace and she couldn't feel it. That's the only thing that gives me a tiny shred of peace.
Why?
You know?
Why do you think he even wanted her or fought for her or asked the judge for custody of her?
Money, money,
It just
money,
seems so
money.
obvious that it wasn't about love.
Money.
She was a meal ticket. He did it because he thought, oh, she's blind, I'm gonna get a, you know, a good amount of Social Security for her. Also, to hurt me. He told me, he said, if I ever get her, you're never gonna see her again. And I told DCF this. I told them, you know, I said that would be the biggest mistake you ever make, because he hated women. He hated women. He hated his mother. His mother abandoned him. Like, he had terrible history with women.
I do want to say this, that he also gave Harmony a black eye months earlier and bragged about it to his uncle, and his uncle turned him into the CPS and they did nothing about it. Yeah, she was blind. They also, after he unalived her, they drawed benefits off of that baby for over 2 years until they started searching for her. Kayla was one of them that did it. So they wanted her for the money. And there is a part in the gun trial where Kayla talks about going into these drug houses with all these people, and it almost makes you think that, yes, Social Security and food stamps. It almost makes you think that they were also selling Harmony. Even Duty Ron said that he had a suspicion that they weren't trafficking baby Harmony out. Yeah, if he's beating her up all the time, she's not going to want to tell him that she has to use the bathroom. So she went on. I mean, he would make her stand in a corner. He bragged about making her stand in a corner at the house until she peed and pooped on herself, and make her clean the toilets with a toothbrush. I mean, the things that he did to this baby. Ooh, this. And Kayla sit there and let him do it. She let him do it. She's just as guilty as, not talking about Crystal, the mom here, but I'm talking about the stepmother that was with him that helped cover this up. She should be just as responsible as this monster right here is.
He's a woman beater. Like, I knew that. He used to put his hands on me. Like, I didn't want him to have any type of control over his daughter. I knew. I just knew, you know? But I didn't, like, when I was looking for her and I was on the news and I was saying all these possibilities, I just didn't want to believe the worst. You know, you don't want to believe that somebody could look in a child's eyes that didn't choose to be here and do such a thing. He named her. He chose Harmony, her name. I was gonna name her Melody. You know, and those are the things that I have to live with, that I have to think about. You know, people don't understand that. You know, I've been put through hell throughout this entire investigation. I've been blamed, bashed.
Well, honey, I'm sorry, but you needed to be there for your baby. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to be cold hearted towards her, but 2 years, 2 years, Crystal, 2 years knowing that she was living with this monster. He was beating her and he hit her and he heard a pop, and Harmony started moaning, and she stopped moaning, and 20 minutes later, when they went to check on her, she was no longer alive. I believe God took her. That's what I believe. Listen, I I know Crystal was struggling with drugs, don't get me wrong. Hey Nikita, but she knew this baby was with this monster. She knew he was with this monster. Yet she didn't try for 2 years. Yes, she tried after 2 years, she did. But no, no, I don't believe it.
I had people in my inbox telling me I should end my life. I should be sterilized. I should never have children.
See,
And I did nothing but everything in my power.
I don't agree in people saying stuff like that. Yeah, she's made mistake that she's going to have to live with the rest of her life, knowing that her baby suffered at the hands of this monster. She made mistakes, but I don't believe people should be telling her to end her life and all that. But I do think, I do hold her, in my opinion, partially responsible for not searching for her baby for 2 years. I do. I mean, if you knew your child is being severely beaten, I mean, she said that Harmony was terrified. She knew. She knew. She should have picked up the phone and called the state police and had them go out there and do a check on Harmony. I don't know. I don't know. It's just a sad situation. Sad, sad, sad.
To get people to listen to me. And it was too late.
Crystal, tell us a little bit more about Adam. You know him better than any of us. And to try to understand who he really is, you mentioned that he had put hands on you as well. Like how consistent was the violence that you witnessed, and what would happen just before he would get that way?
He gets set off very easily. He's a narcissist, so he's the type of person that looks for things. Like, he'll look for things. Like, he'll read a text and misinterpret it and think you're trying to be shady, or he'll ask around, be like, oh, when I was at work at X amount of time, what was my girl doing, da da da. And if they said, like, oh, I don't know, she went to the store at one point, like, oh, she left and she was cheating, like, he was really controlling and really like just toxic. It was just very toxic. And obviously, like when you're using, like we used together, like that was our entire relationship. We used, like I was high. I didn't care what he was doing, you know? But then when I got pregnant with Harmony, I didn't want that anymore. And when I was pregnant with Harmony, he had tried to murder somebody. He shot this man in the face over some drugs. And when he went to jail, I was like, hallelujah, you know? Like I went to a program and I wrote him a letter, and I didn't want to be with him anymore. I just said, listen, I saw the true you, and you know, he was putting his hands on me while I was pregnant. He cared more about drugs, and I believed I went to the program, he went to jail while I was pregnant. It wasn't meant to be. Like, I was a strong believer then that everything happened for a reason. He was just, even when he was in jail, he was in jail a lot of our relationship. I want that to be put out there as well. When I met him, he was on the run from violation of probation, like some prior things he had done, probably robberies, something, I don't know. But he was in and out of programs. He would get in the program, the judge would put him in a program, and then he would get a good month or two, get them to trust him, and then he would run from the program. And it was just a vicious cycle. He just did it every time. He would be like, I'm an addict, judge, and they'd put him in jail, and then he'd go to a program.
I was a prosecutor. I've seen those guys. I have seen those guys.
Yeah.
Same routine over and over. And you find these gullible judges. And then a judge who would give custody of a child to someone like that. Unreal. All right, Crystal, stay there.
I don't know how they didn't cross.
Yeah.
Like, you know, those two.
It's very simple to do if you ask a couple questions or get a little bit of information before making such an important decision for a child. It's always supposed to be what's in the best interest of the child. Not what dad wants, not what mom wants. Best interest of the child always should drive everything.
Always.
Crystal, stay where you are. When we come back, I want to ask you about Kayla Montgomery, because she is going to be the most important witness, but she was in the middle of all of this as well.
She was.
When we come back, we'll talk about
Listen, I'm not judging.
Because I got
Kayla. This is Kayla right here. I'm not judging Crystal as hard as I am Kayla. Crystal made mistakes, I agree. But to wait 2 years to try to look for your child, she is a drug addict, I agree. But she waited 2 years knowing that this guy was a monster. I don't know. It to me, she failed her. I'm sorry, she failed this baby. She failed her. This girl right here, though, Kayla, she's a monster, just like Adam. Just like Adam. Now, Crystal, I can give her some grace because she was on drugs, and she is, you know, she was after 2 years trying to find her daughter, and she didn't want her daughter to die. But this one right here, sit and let this monster beat on this baby, starve this baby daily, and never said one word. One word. Listen, Kelly, this is not about Summer today. This is about Harmony. I don't know why people wants to come in here all the time and bring Summer's case into these other cases when I'm not even covering Summer's case. This is not about Summer. Why does people bring Summer in here? I don't get it. This case is not about Summer. In fact, I don't know if I'm going to cover Summer's case anymore. Yeah, Kayla had 2 kids too, and they were in the back seat of these cars while they were doing drugs. I know one of them was. One of them, the little boy, I think, there was 2 boys and a girl. She had a girl after Harmony died. So there was 2 of them. So yeah. I want y'all to listen to what she has to say.
Peanut to be questioned about Harmony, and I lied to the grand jury because I was scared.
ASS.
On the next episode of Accomplice to Murder.
She was scared for her own ASS. That's what she was scared of. She knew exactly what she was doing when she let that monster hurt that baby. I have no pity for her. I do have some for Crystal. I have to say that. I do feel bad for Crystal. I think she made a lot of mistakes. I think she should have searched for her baby. But this one right here, this accomplice, this right here, that one needs to go to jail just with the other one as well. Absolutely. This monster sit day after day. And I would not doubt if this monster right here did not hurt that baby, starve that baby, and possibly traffic that little girl out too. She had no love in her heart for that baby to let that monster do what he did to that little precious baby girl. Ugh. This one, I can't help it, y'all. Hang on.
I would work 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. And Adam would be home with the kids while I'm at work. And he would drop me off and pick me up from work because I didn't have a license. And then after he would pick me up, I would be at the house with the kids, and he would leave some nights because we were using drugs.
Yeah, they're using a lot of drugs. And that is the home that Harmony was in. Let's bring back in Harmony's mom, Crystal Sorey, who is joining us tonight. What are your thoughts about Kayla Montgomery? On the one hand, she's going to be the most important witness in the trial of Adam, but she's in the middle of all of this. She's in the middle of all of it and claims to not know where Harmony's remains are. What do you think?
I had a lot of trouble with her throughout this case, because I'm a human. Like, I'm a victim of domestic violence, especially, by him. So I know what she was going through with him. I know, it still is not even a crumb of an excuse. Because if it had to be between me and a child, doesn't matter if it's a stranger, a stepchild, my boyfriend's child, my girlfriend's child, I don't care. If it had to be between me and a child, I'm going to choose me. So the fact that she didn't lift a finger to get her help, she did nothing, and then decided to just, well, not only that, but, she laid down and got pregnant by him while my daughter was somewhere stashed in this house. That's a little part that everyone else seems to miss, is that she did have a third child a month before they got arrested in 2021. She had a daughter. Go figure, right? And so it's like, I think about all those pieces. Like, the only people that really think about though everything is me and my family. A lot of people see what they see on social media or the TV or whatever, but like, I know these details. So that right there is just disgustingly sick. Like, you watched him murder a child and then you laid down with him and had another baby. And then, the piece of, her basically doing no time.
Yeah.
After she helped. No matter any way people want to put it, she helped.
I have to agree with her on
She
that.
helped conceal her body. She did nothing to lift a finger. She helped kill her, So it's very hard for me to not have very serious anger towards her. And I wish the worst for her. I hope she never gets to be around another child again. You know what I mean? She doesn't deserve to be near her child. I never get to hold my baby again. So she should never get to lay eyes on hers again. You know, they're better off without her.
Yes.
110%. Those boys are better off without her. And you know, the fact too that, you know, the boys, they were there. They were right in that back seat with Harmony. You know, it's like, what? You know, you know, and then she just sits up there and she knows that like her life is over, you know what I mean? But I have a small, like, I kind of believe that she doesn't know where my daughter is, only because I know Adam. And, you know, he would say, I'm not going to take you to do this last thing in case you rat on me. I know he would say some.
That does make sense.
Some weird.
It makes weird
You know what
sense
I mean? It makes
from a man like that.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crystal, really appreciate you coming on tonight. I know Harmony was looking down, proud of you telling her story tonight.
We have actually covered this case many, many times when, especially, we had boots on the ground when one of my ex mods, Bashley, actually covered this case when they found the refrigerator. Remember when they was taking the refrigerator out of the apartment with the biohazard bags and the flooring out of the apartment, and they were getting down into the sewage system? That's because he literally had little baby Harmony's body in the refrigerator. He put her in the closet. Kayla admitted to him, to them, that they took her out, placed her in the bathtub and poured lime on her. So in the affidavit, and that's all going to come out during court. So I'm sure that they washed some of Harmony down into the sewage system. That's why they were looking into the sewage system for biological evidence, and they found it. They found it in the ceiling where they had put Harmony, in the ceiling of that apartment complex, and she literally leaked down. She was leaking from the ceiling, and they found biological evidence of that. She was also placed, I believe Kayla's mother, the stepmom, I believe she knew that Adam unalived Harmony and kept Harmony in their cooler in her house for months while they lived there. She called him a monster well before Kayla come forward. So I believe she knew that Adam had killed Harmony. I believe Kayla confided in her, and I think she helped conceal Harmony's little body as well. Kayla took Harmony's body in the tote, put it between the two kids, and took it to Adam. She placed the tote between the two kids in the stroller, where Adam took Harmony's body in that little bitty tote bag and put it in the freezer at work. Kayla helped a whole lot, and she witnessed everything. Now, there is a piece of that trial, of the gun trial, where she talks about them being at a place where there were people in and out doing drugs. And in the back of my mind, it made me think, were they selling that little baby precious girl? And so did Duty Ron say that he thought maybe there could have been some trafficking too. Unfortunately, the way the affidavit looks with Harmony's case, and this will all come out in trial, um, it looks like that he may have dismembered Harmony and scattered her around, because he had rented a U-Haul and had distributed several bags throughout the town. So he probably dismembered that baby. Now, did they uncover the U-Haul that he rented? Probably. I don't know if they found any evidence in it. I don't know why he would have to rent a U-Haul for a little child that fit inside of a tote bag. I don't know what the reasoning was behind that, but they said he did rent one. So, yeah, what a monster. what a monster. And Kayla too. And throughout my live streams, if you go back and watch that, when we covered where the uncle had came forward that year, told the police, like, hey, he's bragging about giving this baby a black eye. They were living in a house with no electricity, with a generator, with no nothing, pretty much squatting in this house. And even the neighbors called, and they went in, and instead of taking baby Harmony aside and talking to her, they just checked it out, listened to what Adam had to say, and then left baby Harmony in that case. I mean, when a family member comes forward and says, my nephew is abusing this child and nothing is done about it. I think the last visit was in November. And then right after that, they went homeless. They moved out because they were living in a car, staying at a friend in a friend's driveway at Thanksgiving, and they didn't have no food, and that person that come out and gave them their leftovers. So poor baby Harmony probably didn't even have anything to eat for Thanksgiving, because they probably, with their selfish asses, probably ate the food and starved baby Harmony, in my opinion. Let's see. Daisy, I watched a long, hang on. Daisy, I watched a long interrogation of Kayla explaining and what he and what she helped him with. It was horrible. She deserves jail. Crystal, would you happen to have a clip of that interrogation of Kayla? I know that where he was a career criminal, he shut up and lawyered up real soon. But Kayla, I don't know. But she was drawing benefits off of Harmony for 2 years after she was unalived. Even after her and Adam had separated and he was homeless, she was still drawing benefits off of Harmony. What a what a mm. And that's where she made her mistake, because they knew she was lying for her still to be drawing benefits off of Harmony. Let's see. Let's see. The children should have been taken away before any of this could have happened. Right. And my opinion, I think Kayla's mom's actually got her children. Oh, thank you, Nikita. Thank you for that super sticker. Thank you. This is so sad. Yes, it is. It's very sad. The trial starts tomorrow. They will be doing jury selection tomorrow, but it does start tomorrow. We are covering this case. I have covered this case extensively throughout the 2 years. There's just not been anything new until now. And thank you so much, Nikita. God bless you for that. Thank you for supporting my channel. Thank you. I wish they had let her with her foster parents. Yes, they didn't know. If Crystal should have missed any court date, she should have missed the adoption one. The adoption would have went on without her. She needed to be there for Harmony. I don't know. I don't believe everything Crystal says. I think she failed that baby in so many ways. Kayla sounds like a lovely person. Not. Yes. Just like Crystal said. Kayla sit there and lay down and got pregnant again after he killed Harmony. She got pregnant with him again. Luckily, she did leave him, but I don't give a shit what kind of drugs you're on. You don't sit back and watch somebody viciously abuse that baby. She could have took Harmony and got her. Take her to your mom. Take her and let her stay with your mom. Do something, but save that baby. In my opinion, she should be in jail for a lifetime too. Let's see. Debbie said, I think she. Hang on now. I think she was with her for a year. She was happy there. The foster mom even volunteered to babysit for her if needed. She was never contacted again. Could you imagine how heartbroken the foster mom is knowing, and the foster father knowing that this baby went into the hands of that animal and what that animal did to that precious little baby? I just want to go back in time and rescue her out of that car. I just want to go and take her out of that car and take her and bring her home with me and rescue her. But guess what? God rescued her. God took her out of that situation. What little time that little baby was on this earth, she suffered horrendously at the hands of her own parents. Yeah, Crystal probably she didn't abuse her, but Crystal failed her. She failed her. I'm sorry, but she failed her. Well, you fight for your daughter and her custody. Biomom past record must have not been good leaving your daughter. Well, she was in a drug rehab. She was on drugs. She fell back into drugs. She was in a drug rehab. Harmony's case is very sad. Harmony's case is probably the saddest out of all these cases. Out of all. I know people, on these YouTube streets want to viciously tear apart Summer's family, but I truly believe that Summers was very, very loved. And I don't believe for a minute that Summer was abused at all. Not for 1 minute. Where Harmony was failed by so many people. That precious little baby girl. What a monster. What a freaking monster he was to her. And let me see if I can find. Harmony was blind in one eye, commonly seen in drug abuse babies. Yeah, I think she was actually born addicted to drugs, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see if I can find the interview for Harmony. Let me see if I can find the interview. Kayla's, Montgomery's. This is upsetting. Kayla Montgomery. Hang on. Montgomery. Interrogation. How do you spell interrogation? T-I or Kayla Montgomery interrogation. Let me see if I can find it here and we'll see what we can let me see if I can find her interrogation. There is raw court video. Kayla Montgomery takes the stand. Estranged husband, part 1. So let's see what she has to say about Harmony here. I think this is actually where it makes me think that they trafficked Harmony. This is not the interrogation, but this is her taking the stand. Okay, let's see what she has to say.
On property,
Yes.
and those charges were dismissed as part of a. Were those
Yes.
charges dismissed as part of a plea agreement?
Yes.
Part of a plea agreement.
And you admitted to lying to the grand jury?
Yes.
Did you admit to, apologies. Did you admit to lying to the grand jury?
Yes.
Do you understand the consequences of providing false testimony here today?
Yes.
How are you doing today, Kayla?
I'm okay.
Is it difficult for you to be here?
Yes.
Why is that?
It's a lot.
Because your ass was caught. because your ass was caught. That's why.
And so, Kayla, there's a microphone right in front of you.
I have no.
It looks like a stick coming out from beside the computer screen there.
Yeah.
If you can just sit a little bit closer to that, it's a little difficult for me to hear you. And I want to make sure that all of these jurors hear what you're saying. So you said it's a lot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, now she's gonna pour the tears on.
Do you know someone named Adam Montgomery?
Yeah.
And how do you know him?
I'm sorry.
He is my husband.
Nope.
You said he's your husband?
Yeah.
I must be
How long have you two been married?
It'll be 6 years.
I have no
Do
picture.
you remember the date you got married?
Yeah, it was June 7th, 2017.
Sorry, guys.
How long have you known Adam Montgomery?
Since we were in high school.
Are you currently in legal proceedings related to your marriage?
Yes.
Did you file for divorce?
Yes, I did.
Did you leave the defendant at some point in time?
Yes.
Do you know if after you left him, he started a relationship with another individual?
Yes, he did.
Do you know that person's name?
Kelsey Small.
Did you ever meet Kelsey Small?
Yes.
Do you have any children with the defendant?
Yes, I do. I have 3.
3 children. What are their names?
Seamus, Declan, and Kira.
So you talked about where you're currently living at the women's prison.
Yeah.
Where did you live back in October of 2019?
I was living at 77 Guilford Street in Manchester, New Hampshire,
How long did you live there?
for about 1.5 years.
For a year and a half.
Listen to her.
Why did you stop living there?
Because we got kicked out of the house.
Was that an eviction?
Yes.
Do you remember what month and what year that was?
November 2019.
Those tears dried up quickly, didn't they?
When you lived at the 77 Guilford Street address, who did you live with there?
It was myself, Adam, Seamus, Declan, and Harmony.
Do you think you'd recognize that address if you saw it today?
Yes. Yes, you may.
I want y'all to listen carefully to this testimony because it makes you think that Harmony was trafficked.
And so, Kayla, I'm going to hand you what's been marked for identification as states exhibit 42A through J. And I'm just going to ask you to look at each of those. And look at the page on it.
Council, can you approach? Just a minute.
So listen carefully about what she says, you guys. And this is the gun charge. The things that she says makes me think that they were trafficking this precious little baby girl. This girl is a mom.
Okay, and so if you can go through them starting with 42A, and it looks like they're, let me get them back in order really quick.
There should be no mercy for somebody like him. I'm sorry, you guys, but there should be no mercy. He did not show mercy on this baby. He did not show mercy on her. So there should be no mercy whatsoever for him or her, because neither one of them showed mercy on this baby whatsoever. They've got it muted right now. They're arguing. I'm going to fast forward it till they get to where she testimonies again.
Thank you.
And if you could just note which letter you're on.
42C.
Okay, and what did you say 42C is?
That's the ceiling in the basement. And 42D is the ceiling in the attic, I believe. Yeah. And 42E is the attic, the storage room in the attic. And 42F is the room.
And whose room is
Bedroom.
F?
It was mine and Adam's and the 2 boys.
Okay, and G?
That's Harmony's room.
H?
Harmony's room. The kitchen is I, and the back porch is J, or the front. I don't know which one that is. Oh, that's the front.
It's the front.
Yeah.
So it's the front room.
Yeah, the living room.
And are those very accurate representations of the 77 Gilbert Street address, as you remember?
Yes.
And Judge, this one I think to strike the ID on this one.
Any objection?
I think she may have fixed it, or the question may have.
Talking about it. Right now they're lollygagging around with stupid stuff. Hang on. Is it? She's arguing with the judge.
Specifically, it's October 2019. Is that an accurate representation of the house back then?
Yes.
Let's go a little bit.
Exhibits.
And so, Kayla, you're telling us about the front room, and I think you also mentioned the kitchen.
Yes.
Where are those in relation to each other?
They are, when you walk into the house, the living room is right in the front, and then you walk through, and there's the kitchen. But there's a wall that separates the kitchen and the living room. But there's still a walkway to walk through.
So you can walk through from one to another. I'm going to take those back from you.
Well,
If you need more water, just let me know.
oh, poor Kayla.
So focusing back on that time period, September, October 2019, what was your life like back then?
I was working up until November 2019 at Dunkin' Donuts. I would work 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. And Adam would be home with the kids while I'm at work, and he would drop me off and pick me up from work because I didn't have a license. And then after he would pick me up, I would be at the house with the kids, and he would leave some nights because we were using drugs,
When you say we were using drugs, what do you mean?
like getting high, using heroin and crack and weed.
And when you say we were getting high and using heroin and crack and weed, who's we?
Adam and I.
And what was your drug of choice?
It was both heroin and crack.
Are you sober now?
Yes.
What did it take for you to become sober?
Going to jail.
I asked you about your drug of choice back then. What was the defendant's?
Heroin.
And you mentioned working at Dunkin' Donuts up until November of 2019.
Yes.
What did the defendant do for work back then?
He was home with the kids.
And he'd leave at night, you said?
Yeah, he would leave after I'd be home for a couple hours, and go for rides.
Okay. Do you know, back then, how did you get your drugs?
I had money from my job, and that's what I remember up until we got kicked out, evicted from the house.
And you mentioned Harmony, Declan, and Seamus. How did you support them?
We had food stamps, and my income, which was barely anything at the time.
Was there anyone that you were close to back then in September, October 2019?
There was a few people that were in and out back then of my life. But I know one that was around a lot was Tabitha Scott.
And what about people from work? Were you close to anyone there?
Kimberly Frayne.
And you knew her from work?
Yes.
How long had you known Kimberly Frayne?
Since 2016, I believe.
And so back in October of 2019, how would you describe your relationship with her? You called her a friend. Were the two of you close?
Yeah, we weren't as close as we used to be because I switched franchises, so I didn't see her that much. But started talking to her again because she was using drugs at the time, and she had a car, and it was just another way to be able to get drugs.
Through Kimberly?
Yes.
Do you know where she lived back in September, October 2019?
I remember she lived on Russell Street in Manchester.
Had you been to her home in Russell Street?
Yes.
How many times would you say?
I don't know, probably about 4 or 5 times that I can remember.
And who did she live with back then in her home in Russell Street?
Her husband, Chris Frayne, and her daughter, their daughter.
And you just mentioned Chris Frayne. Did you know him as well?
Yeah.
How'd you know him?
Through Kim.
How would you describe your relationship with him?
It was, I don't know, we were all just friends. He was just a really nice person.
And have you kept in contact with either Chris or Kim Frayne?
I was in contact with Chris back in January, the end of December, January, before I got arrested.
And Kayla, I want to turn your attention specifically to October of 2019 and the theft of firearms. Do you know what I'm referring to?
Yes.
What am I referring to?
The firearms got taken and stolen out of Chris Frayne and Kimberly Frayne's house.
What kind of firearms were stolen?
I have no idea what the names of them are. I just know they were big. I don't remember the names.
Let's back up. You said firearms. Was this more than one?
Yeah. Yes.
How many are we referring to?
2 that I remember.
Okay. And how would you describe them?
Like a rifle type. I don't know. They were just big. Rifle, shotgun. I don't know what the names of them are. I don't know what they're called.
So a rifle, shotgun?
Yeah.
Did you personally see these?
Yes.
I want to talk about the first time that you saw them. Can you tell us about that?
I know that there were people at the house that came so that we could buy drugs off them, and Adam was showing them to those couple of people that came by trying to sell them. And I remember I was taking care of the kids, and I was looking to see what was going on in the living room from the kitchen, and it was just chaos in that house at that time, that same night.
Why is that? Why was it chaos?
It was just a lot of people going in and out, and taking care of the kids at the same time. It was, I don't even know.
And I think you said that night. Are we talking about nighttime?
Yes.
That's the statement that makes me think. Why was there so many people in that house? And what was they doing with Harmony? You know, according to her, she took care of Harmony all the time. You know? So, yeah. That makes me wonder, with all those people in and out of the house, what were they doing with baby Harmony?
So the incident that you're describing, were you already aware at that point that the guns had been stolen from the Frayne house?
Yes.
All right. And you said people had come to sell drugs?
Yeah.
Was that to you or to someone else?
To Adam, but I was going to be doing the drugs too.
Okay. So they came to sell drugs to Adam. You were going to do the drugs as well.
Yes.
And it sounded like you said he offered to sell them the firearms?
Yeah, to trade them or buy them, buy the firearms or trade them for drugs.
Okay. So he had them at that point and he was going to trade them or sell them for drugs?
Yes. Trade them for drugs or sell them for money.
At that point, did you know what he was wanting to get for them?
No, I had no idea, because I don't know. I never dealt with that before. I just let him deal with it because I don't know.
And the individuals that you're referring to that came to the house, do you know their names?
I remember Mike. I don't remember his last name. And I don't remember if the other two came that night, but there was always somebody with Mike all the time. And I just remember Ish and Manny. I don't know their last names.
Okay. So Mike, Ish, and Manny were there that night to sell Adam drugs?
I believe, yeah.
And I think you said he offered them the two guns?
Yeah.
And how long after you found out about the theft was this incident that you're describing?
It was within a couple of days, like the next night or something like that. It was around that time, the same time.
You described it as chaos. How did Ish, Manny, and Mike react to this offer of the guns?
They were checking them out, and they were just checking them out, looking at them, and they were saying that they would think about it. But they also knew that the guns were missing from Chris and Kim's house, but they didn't know that those were those guns yet.
Okay. When did you first become, let me strike that question. At some point, did you become aware that the defendant had stolen Kim Frayne and Chris Frayne's firearms?
Yes.
And tell us about that.
I know Kim was freaking out because she noticed that they were missing, and she was trying to figure out where they went and who took them before Chris came back home because he was on the road, truck driver or whatever he did. And so Kim called and asked if we knew anything or if anybody was in and out the house. And then the other people that I mentioned that she was involved with, she was asking everybody if they've seen them or took them or anything like that. But and something, Kim's, I guess the night they got stolen, well, I know the night they got stolen, Chris, Kim left her door open to her house and she was passed out.
And let me stop you there. Were you there that night the guns got stolen?
No.
You said you know the night that they got stolen. How do you know that information?
Because Kim was freaking out, and when she called, she said that her door was open, and then Adam went to go check on her too. Adam was supposed to be going to meet her. And when he pulled up to the house, the door was open and she was passed out, and he woke her up.
Were you there for that?
No.
How do you know that?
Because he told me.
And when you say he told me?
Adam told me.
So he told you that he went to her house that night?
Well, I already knew he was supposed to be going there.
Okay. How did you know he was supposed to be going there?
Because he was supposed to meet her to do something with drugs. It had something to do with drugs because that's the only time we really were seeing her.
Was that typical for the defendant back then to go to her house by himself?
Around that time, yeah. Because he was the one with the car license, and we weren't going to bring the kids out when it's nighttime and it's time for them to go to bed.
You described living on Guilford Street, and I think you said Kim lived on
Russell Street.
How far apart, or how long would it take to get from your house to Kim's house?
I don't know, maybe like 10 minutes. Could be less, a little less or a little more, but she lived all the way on, like almost near Hooksett. She lived like the near the store that I met her working at, the South Beach Street store before Livingston Park.
It took about 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, and I want to back up just a bit. You said the defendant told you that he went to her house, but you already knew he was going to her house.
Yeah.
And he told you that her door was open?
Yes.
And then what else did he tell you about that interaction?
And he said that she was passed out, and he woke her up, and when she woke up, she was freaking out about the guns missing.
When did he tell you that story?
It was that same night.
When he got home?
Yes.
And can you describe for us him getting back home?
I'm sorry, what?
Can you walk us through him returning home that night?
I know I was waiting for him, and I was laying down with the kids, and I think I heard him come through the door, because I always heard him come through the door. And when he came through the door, I don't remember him having anything when he came through the door.
Did you see him come through the door?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think he was going in and out, and from what I remember, I don't remember seeing him bring anything in. I don't know where he put anything yet. Like, I don't know. I don't remember.
Did he have drugs with him that night?
Yes, I believe so.
And-
I don't know. It's a fog, because I know we were just getting high a lot.
And you said you didn't know where he put them yet.
No.
And what are you referring to by them?
With those
Because they were in the attic of the house,
Sorry, when you say they were in the attic, what are you referring to?
the guns.
Okay, and did you see the attic of the house in those photos that I showed you?
Yes.
Yeah, I want her to touch.
So you told us about the story the defendant told you about going to Kim Frane's home, finding the door open, she's passed out, and then she started, I think you said, freaking out
Yeah,
about the missing guns.
Yes.
Did he ever tell you a different story about that night?
No.
Did you confront him about the guns?
I just didn't know what to say. I was kind of upset about it, because that they're supposed to be our friends, but I don't know. It was just messed up, that whole situation.
And when you say they're supposed to be our friends,
Kim and Chris,
why were you upset about it?
because I didn't like the guns, first of all, and second of all, he just took them without even and he could have given them back after they realized they were gone, but he didn't,
And you said he just took them. How do you know he took them?
because he's told me that he took them.
Okay, and so I want to stop you just then. So you told me the story he told you about going into the home, finding Kim passed out, waking her up, her freaking out.
Yeah.
It sounds like there was a subsequent conversation. So another conversation later when he told you that they were stolen. Is that right?
Yes.
Can you tell us about that conversation?
All he said was that Kim was passed out, and he ended up taking the guns. That's not like, there wasn't really a story with it.
And that upset you?
Yeah, because he took them from friends, and I didn't want the guns in the house.
Took them from friends.
Yeah.
Were you still working with Kim at that point?
No, we worked at separate stores.
Did you ever talk to her about the theft that night?
Not that night, no.
Not that night, but did she discuss cameras with you at some point?
Yes.
And can you tell us about that interaction?
She told me that she called the police department and put a stolen, reported stolen items. And she said that she's going to see whoever did it, because there was cameras, her neighbors had cameras. And she said that she was getting the camera, like the camera footage or whatever, so she could see who took them.
Did that concern you at all?
Oh, yeah.
And you'd already seen the guns at that point.
Yes.
What did you do with that information?
I told Adam.
What was his response?
Honestly, I don't remember. I know he was a little worried. I remember that, but I honestly don't remember.
She's too worried about drugs, but she's too worried about.
So you just previously you described an interaction a night or two. It sounds like it was the night after the theft where Mike is there, Ish is there, and Manny's there.
Yes.
The defendant offered them the guns for sale or for trade,
Yes.
drugs or money.
Yes.
Did you ever witness any other transactions like that with those guns?
Not that I remember. I know there was another transaction, but I don't remember how it went down, or I don't remember any of that, but I know there was.
Let me back up. The first transaction that you just described with Mike, Ish, and Manny, what were you doing during that?
I don't know, I was all around the house, because the kids were awake and not in bed, because they woke up from all the noise, which happened every time. And I was trying, I tried keeping them in the kitchen and was trying to get them to relax, but that wasn't happening. And it was just a lot going on at once, the guys being in the house, and then also people getting high in the house, those people. But then they would be there, and then they'd be gone real quick. They come in and they leave.
Which makes me think that maybe they were doing stuff to Harmony.
Did the guns stay in the house that night?
Yes.
And I believe you said they were stored in the attic area.
Yes.
Were they stored in something?
I don't know.
Do you remember telling law enforcement that they were?
Leading in that proper foundation. rephrase the question, please.
Do you remember them being stored or wrapped in something?
Not that I remember.
Do you remember meeting with law enforcement? Do you
Yes.
remember at June 3rd proffer back in 2022?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember telling law enforcement at that point?
Coach?
I would be ashamed. I would be ashamed to be an attorney and represent somebody as bad as this guy right here. To represent Adam Montgomery,
You do your thing.
ashamed. There's no amount of money worth representing a scumbag that would hurt their own child the way that he did that baby. Look at him. He don't have a. Hey, good morning, Johnny.
Merci.
Good morning.
During that proffer, do you remember disclosing that the firearms were stored in a blue sheet and blanket?
Yes.
Is that what they were stored in?
From what? In the attic, because we didn't sleep in the attic anymore. But I know they were stored in the storage room. But I do remember the sheet.
Do you remember what color the sheet was?
Blue.
Was there also a blanket?
I don't remember a blanket.
But you remember a blue sheet?
Yes.
How many times did you see those firearms in your house?
About three times, I believe. I don't remember, but I know at least 3 times.
Okay, and I want to switch gears a little bit. I'm going to ask you, do you know someone named Kevin O'Leary?
Yes.
Do you know him by another name?
No.
Okay. How do you know Kevin O'Leary?
He lived up the hill from the Guilford Street house, and Adam met him somehow. I don't know how, but I guess he knew him or something. And he was smoking weed. That's what it was, smoking weed. And he smoked a blunt with him, and that's how I remember them meeting. But I don't know if they knew each other from before. I don't remember.
Okay. Would you see him regularly, Kevin?
Yes.
How often would you see Kevin?
Almost about every day, like from back in that period of the fall 2019.
So very frequently, it sounds like.
Yes.
What was your relationship like with Kevin?
He wasn't really my friend. He was Adam's friend. So, but he would obviously, like, he had respect for me because I'm Adam's wife, and he was very nice. But I didn't not like him, but I don't know. He was just there to me.
You said he was Adam's friend.
Yes.
Did you ever observe a transaction between Adam and Kevin?
No, I don't remember a transaction happening, but I remember Kevin looking at the gun. One of the guns. I don't even know if we had them all anymore. I don't know, but in the house. But I know he looked at one. He was looking at one.
Do you remember? Sorry, when Kevin was looking at the gun, was that with you or was that with Adam?
Both.
Okay, so you were there for that.
Yes.
What were you doing at the time?
Getting high.
At some point during that interaction, did Kevin and Adam leave your house with one of the firearms?
Not at that time, like not right at that moment. Kevin went home from what I remember, and because they did talk about leaving with it, and Adam had it put away under the bed we were sleeping in at the time. And I remember getting in a fight with him because I didn't want him to leave the house, especially with the gun. I got in an altercation with him about it and tried taking it from him, and he still took it and left anyways. And it was just not good. And if we kept arguing about it, the kids were going to wake up.
Was it nighttime?
Yes.
And so the kids were asleep?
Yes.
You said you didn't want him leaving with it, especially with a gun?
Yes.
Why?
Because I was nervous and scared that he'd get in trouble.
Why would he get in trouble for having a gun?
Because he's a felon and not supposed to have one.
So you told him not to?
Yes.
Did he leave anyway?
Yes.
You know where he went with it?
I remember him and Kevin talking about going up behind Rock Rimmon to shoot it off. That's what I remember.
She's worried more about this.
Do you remember him coming back that evening?
I don't remember. I was sleeping with the kids at the time.
And after he left to go to, I think you said Rock Rimmon?
Yeah.
To shoot the gun. Was that gun under your bed after that?
Not that I noticed.
I don't get it. Why is she crying over Adam?
Do you know any other individuals that the defendant attempted to sell those guns to? Do
No, not that I know of.
you know someone named Mark Reed? Do
Yeah. Yes.
you know someone named Tone?
Yes.
Did the defendant ever offer the firearms to them?
Yes. I don't know about Mark, but Tone, yes.
Can you tell us what you know of that?
Just offered to trade it for drugs.
Do you know Tone's full name?
Anthony Badero.
Kayla, I want to back up. So you mentioned these two firearms. Do you know anything about a stolen pistol from the Frayne home?
No, I do not.
Did you ever have a conversation with Kim about a missing handgun?
Not that I don't remember.
So I want to back up to that June 3rd proffer that we discussed earlier. During that proffer, do you remember telling law enforcement that Kim mentioned a still or misplaced handgun, but that was well before the stolen guns in this case?
Yes.
Does that you remember that conversation with him?
Yes.
Is that what she told you?
Yes.
And was it well before your husband stole your guns?
Yes.
Kayla, do you remember where you were back on December 30th, 2021?
Either in a family shelter at FIT or at my mom's. I don't remember which one. Yes.
And so Kayla, I'm handing you what's been marked for identification as 46A through E. I'm going to ask you to turn to the last page, E.
She collected benefits off that baby.
Okay.
I have no pity for her. I'm sorry.
And you can set those aside. With respect to 46E, do you recognize anyone in those photos?
Yes.
Who do you recognize?
Kelsey and myself.
And you had mentioned a Kelsey Small earlier.
Yes.
Is that Kelsey Small in those photos?
Yes.
And you said yourself as well?
Yes.
What were you doing in those photographs?
Trading in phones at the phone machine thing that's at Walmart for money.
So how did you arrive? You mentioned Kelsey Small. Were you with her that day?
Yes.
Were you with anyone else?
Adam.
Did Kelsey and Adam leave you at some point during your interaction there or your time there at Walmart?
Yes.
You know where they went?
No.
So Kayla, I want to switch gears. Do you know someone named Tara Hilbert?
Yes.
Can you tell us about your relationship with Tara?
She was the property manager at the apartment that we were last living in together on Union Street in Manchester. And we ended up having a friendship, and it was a good friendship. Like, our kids played with each other outside, and we cooked together, had barbecues and stuff like that. We were friends.
And when you say we cooked together, had barbecues, who do you mean when you refer to we?
Myself and Adam and Tara and her boyfriend.
You remember his name?
Josh.
Were you ever party to a conversation between Tara, her husband, and the defendant regarding firearms?
I don't remember.
Do you remember a conversation where the defendant accused you of telling the police on him in front of Tara, her husband?
Yes.
Can you tell us about that?
He was. Yes.
She actually acts like she's sedated right now anyway. She acts like she's got a little bit of Xanax or something. I don't know. She's in jail, so there's no way she could get
People in Wisconsin love a good fish fry.
And we love sharing it with guests everywhere.
I'm curious to see what she says about when the trial starts tomorrow and she has to get up and talk about Harmony. That's what I'm curious about. That's it. There's been many times. Yeah, look at him. He's staring at her. He knows she knows. He knows. Look at him. He gonna act all innocent. Yep, God took that baby. She'll be released. Yeah, somebody said that she was in jail for 7 years. No, she just got a year and something. Like, somebody come on my comments telling me that I needed to get my facts straight, that she went to jail for 7 years. No, she only got a year and something for lying. This chick's got away with a lot. Let me see. Look at her. She knows. She knows what she's done. She needn't act. She knows exactly what she's done. She knows exactly what she let him do to that baby. I have no pity for her or him, either one. I hope that she messes up in court too. I hope when they start trial tomorrow, it'll probably be a couple days before they get her witnesses. I wonder if Adam's going to take the stand. Probably not. He still claims that he never hurt Harmony. Yep, right, Adam. Right. Piece of shit. I hope you never lay eyes on each other after this. Hey, Zigzag. Hello. Come on in. We're waiting. They got it silenced right now. Let me fast forward it until they start talking.
And Tara's husband. Do you remember a conversation about these guns where the defendant accused you in front of Tara of telling law enforcement on him?
It's brought up a couple times.
Yes, he accused me of a lot of things.
But you know,
And during that conversation, did he say that you were working with the police?
Yes.
Were you still using drugs back then?
Yes, it was off and on.
And was the defendant still using back then?
Yes.
Had his temperament, or sorry, had his, I'll strike that question. So, Kayla, we spoke earlier about that June proffer.
Yes.
Do you remember who was party to that proffer? So who was there?
Myself, my lawyer, Paul, and Jesse, I forget his last name.
Does O'Neill sound familiar?
Yeah.
Okay. And how did you come to be there for that proffer?
Because I got subpoenaed to be questioned about Harmony, and I lied to the grand jury because I was scared.
So let me back up. Had you been charged with a crime prior to the meeting for that proffer?
Yes.
And Your Honor,
yeah, I think she got a year for perjury. I think that's all she got was like a year or something. In my opinion, parents who are addicted to drugs and alcohol are not suitable parents. I think they need to take them, kids. If a child is born into that, hey, Christine, the person struck a deal. It was either going to be her charge or him. That's true. You want to come up, Christine, and hang out with me? We're listening to this trial.
So, Kayla, prior to meeting for that proffer, you said, I think you'd been charged with a crime?
Yes.
Do you remember what you had been charged with?
Welfare fraud.
Anything else?
And 2 counts of receiving stolen property.
And do you remember being charged with perjury as well?
Yes.
Okay. Did you receive a letter from the Department of Justice prior to going to that proffer meeting?
I don't remember.
Do you think it would help refresh your recollection if you saw the letter?
Yes. Oh, yeah. I remember this.
Okay. And so do you remember receiving a letter from the New Hampshire Department of Justice prior
Yes.
to that meeting?
Yes.
What is your understanding of what your obligation was going into that meeting?
To tell the truth?
And is that what you did in that proffer?
Yes.
Is that what you're doing here today?
Yes.
And so the activity that formed the basis for those charges you just mentioned, specifically receiving stolen property and perjury. I think you've explained the perjury. The receiving stolen property, though, what was the basis of that charge?
The receiving stolen property was for the guns.
So the guns in this case?
Yes.
They were in your home?
Yes.
You knew they were stolen?
Yes.
And you knew that your husband was a felon?
Yes.
After you were charged with those crimes, did you reach a plea agreement with the Department of Justice?
Yes.
What did you plead guilty to?
2 counts of perjury.
And was that to resolve all of your charges?
Yes.
So including the welfare fraud and the receiving stolen property?
Yes.
And Judge,
Hey.
Hey. Yeah, she.
Crocodile tears. Huh?
She had to strike that deal, or because if they may have a hard time, you know, if there's no body, it's hard, but had a gun and he was a felon. So that's a definite charges right there. So I think that's why they're going so hard on the gun convictions, is because that is a definite win.
Yeah. Well, they also found biological evidence of her being in that refrigerator and the,
Mhm.
I mean, all of that places that corresponds with what she told.
Well, I'm
So,
interested to see what she says about what happened to Harmony. I know that he hit her in the face a couple times in the while she was in the car, and then they heard gurgling, and they
upon,
didn't even stop and check on her. But I don't know anything after that.
well, well, did you hear everything that he did to the body after she died?
No.
Oh my God, it's horrible, Christine.
What did he do?
He took her and put her in a tote, like a gym bag, and
Mhm.
throw it in the trunk. Then they took her to her mom's house, put her in a cooler, put her in the ceiling where she leaked through the ceiling of that apartment, put her in the refrigerator, put
What
her
the
in the
heck?
closet. Then Kayla here helped get her out of the Kayla helped get her out of the uh the bag and put her
What? They took
uh
her out of the bag?
yeah, and she talked about how she could see that Harmony still looked like Harmony at that time. They put her in the bathtub and placed lime on her, then placed her back in the gym bag again. Then they took her and
What
you
the heck?
know, then after that, she helped him get her out of the gym bag, put her in a tote bag, a regular tote bag, and I guess I don't know what all else. I'll have to read the affidavit again. And Harmony wouldn't fit in the tote bag, so he punched the tote bag and
No, he
broke
did not.
this and broke
Oh
it
my God.
to fit in the tote bag. Kayla took the tote bag, put it in between the two babies in a stroller, and took it to him, where he placed her in the refrigerator freezer at his work for months. Then finally,
What?
yeah, and then finally he took her to yeah, trigger warning, I'm sorry you guys. Then finally he rented a U-Haul, I don't know why, and had a
What's
friend,
the deal with these U-Hauls and Penske trucks?
I don't know, but he cut her up, he dismembered her and displayed her all over the place and had another guy help him. So I'm curious to find out about that. But Kayla claims that she don't know where he took Harmony's body, but it was displayed. I mean, there were
Okay,
several.
well, who helped him?
She did.
No, who helped? No, you said another person helped
I
disperse her body all over the place. Who was the person?
He alleged didn't know what was in the bags, but I forget
Okay,
who.
that doesn't matter because he knows where he put those items. So where are the items?
I don't know that's gonna have to come out in court. I
Oh
don't.
my gosh, I can't.
It's horrible to hear what he did to her
Why did they not just leave that precious baby with her foster parents?
because she got a check, just like her mom Crystal said. She got a check, and because she was blind in the eye, so she got a social security check. And oh, Kayla here, 2 years after Harmony had died, she was still drawing food stamps off
She's
of
still drawing food stamps off that baby as
Yep,
as they toted her around from place to place, putting
yep,
lime and punching, breaking her bones and cutting her up and
yep,
oh
yep,
well, I guess maybe the prosecution is, they'd rather convict one than none.
yeah. Well, she told the story, and it's all getting ready to come out. It starts tomorrow. The trial starts
Hmm.
tomorrow. This is just uh
That
she.
hurts my stomach and it hurts my heart. Oh,
Oh yeah. Once you read, I have a live where we've been over the all the paperwork of all that, but this is just giving an insight of how bad they were on drugs at the time that Harmony was living with them. Like
what
it,
kind of drugs were they on?
she said heroin and crack was their drug of choice. It makes you think that that they trafficked her as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
You know what I'm
Especially if they didn't have any money. Yeah.
She was peeing and pooping on herself in the car, and
Oh, God love
she was
her.
afraid to tell him because every time he would hit her, and the last time she
Ooh.
forgot, I guess she got scared and didn't tell him, and he punched her, and they heard the pop 3 times. The third time it popped, he said, "I believe I heard her." She moaned for 5 minutes, then stopped. Then they went to Burger King, came back after 20 minutes. They checked on her. She was dead.
Wait, they went into Burger King and left her in the car?
I don't know. I don't know if they went inside or around the drive-through. It was 20 minutes later when they checked on her and she was dead.
Was
And
she
that
in the car by herself or were the other kids with her?
the other kids was back there during the whole time.
So they didn't check on their other kids for 20 minutes too? I think that's a lie.
I think it's a lie. All of it's a lie. This chick, she said she was high on drugs. Now, I know that I think it was during this trial or the other that I heard her say, or somebody say that they didn't have food during Thanksgiving. They were living in a car, and that the people that they were staying there with gave them the leftovers. So that makes me think the little baby Harmony didn't even get food for Thanksgiving. Like, it's so sad what they did. And
So
I believe
they sat there and toted this little girl around just for what, a couple $100
they
that they spent on drugs and not even what it's supposed to, and then beat her and probably drugged her too. I bet you they drugged her too.
Oh yeah. And this witch right here, I hate to say it, but she got pregnant for him after he killed Harmony and had a baby girl. So not only was Harmony being abused, but their kids were in the car with them while they were doing drugs. Her two children by Adam, the two boys,
How old were the two children at the
they
time?
were babies. I think they were infants and toddlers.
Okay,
So
so
doing all
there's an infant and a toddler back there with Harmony when he did that to her, but he didn't but they're saying that they didn't check on her for 20 minutes. Well, they had to have checked on the infant and the toddler because the toddler's not going to sit there for 20 minutes. No way.
them babies were used to probably being in the car, probably crying for hours. I just wonder if he didn't beat on those babies and she let him. You know what I'm saying? Hang on
Mm,
just a second, okay?
yeah. Those poor kids didn't have a chance. Harmony did not have a chance at all. That just makes me so sad and sick to my stomach. And it makes me angry. I hope that he gets the death penalty. She's speaking because she cut a deal, a really good deal too. And I guarantee you her attorney said, "Yeah, you better take it because if not, you're going to go down with him. And you better
Oh
tell
yeah.
all you know and you better tell the truth and not lie about anything." Because once you lie, when you say you're going to tell the truth and you make a deal and they find out you lie about one thing, that whole deal is off.
Oh yeah. And I'm
So
curious
she has to be truthful about everything, every single thing. If they catch her in one little lie, it's she's going to get charged the same as what he's getting charged with. So that's
I,
why she's telling the truth right now, and that's why he's looking at her with the death stares because he knows that she knows, and he knows that she's going to tell it because she's not going to go down for the crap he did, but she sat there and went with it.
yes, she did. She
But
never even checked on that baby when he said, "I think I done it this time." Oh my
this
God.
time this
Yeah,
time means that he's done it many times.
yeah, she said he did it many times.
Why
But
didn't you, well, how can women not have, oh, I can't even,
yeah,
I'm not even going to say a word.
poor Harmony would pee and poop on herself. He would make her stand
Mm.
in the corner for hours. He made her clean the toilets with a toothbrush. He bragged about giving her a black eye. I mean,
And
what he
she already had a bad eye already. And then he's punching her in the face.
was beating that
I
baby.
swear, I hope once he gets convicted, I hope they put him in the worst the worst prison system there is. And I hope, I
Yeah,
can't tell you what I hope
yeah.
because
Well,
it wouldn't be very godlike.
he's got a whole history full of criminal activity. Plus, abuse charges, and they placed Harmony in that home knowing with the record that he had. I mean,
Well,
it's
he's a
just
felon. I didn't think that they were. I don't know. I don't even. I guess each state is different, but in a lot of states, I don't know. I don't think that if you are a felony, if you're a felon, I don't know if you could. I could be wrong, but I don't know. Lots of states have different rules, but seems to me like there's a hole there that needs to be fixed, and maybe a law needs to be changed.
well,
Um,
it has been since this. What it was is he got custody of her in New Hampshire and moved to Manchester, and so it
uh,
didn't carry over. Social services was called several times that came out to the house, and nothing was done. Just like Crystal, the mother said, the biological mother said, if they would have took Harmony aside and asked her and told her she was safe and asked her, was she okay? She would have told them she was not okay.
well, they're supposed to.
I don't think they did. They would have had to take the children, and I think they should take the children out of the house.
They're supposed
Away
to speak to
from
the child, and they are supposed to check the environment. They're supposed to do both of those
They
things.
were living as squatters in a house, and when they were called on, and because there was food and a generator, they let them keep those kids.
But they're
Didn't
squatting. That's not a safe environment. That's not a secured, safe environment. If they're squatting, that's not even their property then.
they were failed by she was failed by so many. The CPS, they tried to do an interview with the CPS and they would not do it.
Oh, I guess they wouldn't, because I
No.
guarantee you the person that signed off on those calls are probably no longer working there.
Connie said they went through the drive-through. I don't know, at the Burger King. Well, what I don't get is if they were going through the drive-through, wouldn't they ask Harmony, did she want anything to eat, or were they going to let that baby starved? You know what I'm
Because
saying?
what does it mean they didn't check on her for 20 minutes? I mean, if they pull over, even if they went through the drive-through to eat, what does that mean they didn't check on her for 20 minutes?
They didn't.
They didn't look behind the seat?
According to Kayla, they didn't.
I don't know. I don't
They
believe
said
that.
Harmony in the
I don't
ceiling
believe that for 1 minute. I believe
high
they know what they did to her, or he
up
did to her.
underneath. I mean, Harmony was unalived already. Yeah, they had her up in the ceiling. Like, this case has got my heart more than any other case because this baby was failed on so many levels. And this monster right here, she can sit up there with her crocodile tears, but she let that happen to that baby. She let that baby be abused every day, and they probably wasn't even going to feed her. That's why they didn't pay attention. They probably were not even going to feed her. They nodded off.
Nope,
they
but their meals and their drugs were bought by her,
they aren't asking the
by
kids what they want to
by
eat.
them supposedly taking care of her.
I know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and she's got up here with these crocodile tears, and it's mostly for her and Adam's asses because now she knows they're in hot sheet because Harmony, she had to break down and tell what really happened to Harmony because they weren't buying their story.
I want to know more about this other person that helped distribute these bags everywhere. If he didn't know what was in the bags, wouldn't you say, well, why are you taking half and I'm taking half and distributing them throughout the state? Like,
I would have
why?
to go
Would you not ask why?
on the
Or are you
affidavit.
just going to just be a big dum dum and just do it? I mean, if my friend came up to me and said, "Hey, can you drop these bags off as you're driving to go hiking at different locations and spread it out?" I'm going to be looking at them like, no. What's in the bags?
Exactly. Exactly.
So
But
even if that person doesn't even know supposedly what was in the bags, he knows where he put those bags.
exactly.
So
I don't
where are they? And let's go get them so that let the police go get them so that they can at least, gather up some of her remains.
mhm. I know. Rachel said, I've grieved and cried for her. It's absolutely devastating. How could anyone want to do this? And how could this happen? Rest in peace, sweet Harmony.
That's
She
right.
was failed on so many. Crystal, what is on your thumbnail? I have tried and tried. Work it out. I don't know about Crystal. I just think that Crystal, I feel Crystal failed Harmony in so many ways too. Crystal's the biological mother. She lost Harmony
Yeah.
um, to Adam. But it's just sad because there was a lot. And if you listen to this, she was talking about so many drugs, so many people going in that house, in and out. There was complete chaos. Just makes you think, did they sell baby Harmony? Were they selling her too? Like she was letting this man beat her. He may have been, we don't know what really happened to her. She was at the complete mercy of this monster. Hey,
Yeah.
Lucky. And
Yeah.
so,
You know what?
know about the
Even
guy.
though she may be getting away and made a deal in court, there's no deal making when it's the end of your life and there's a decision that's going to be made. There's no deal making then.
Right. And all the tears in the world ain't going to mean nothing. You can lie all you want in the court of law, but you won't lie to the Lord because he knows all.
Yep.
I'm sorry, but hey, Marie, there's no amount of drugs that's going to let somebody sit back and let this monster. And I know there were times where she was probably not high and she witnessed him beating that baby and hurting that baby. You cannot use drugs for every excuse. I'm sorry. You can't. I guarantee you she wasn't letting him hit her kids, which
Oh,
I don't
probably
know what
no.
he could have been. He
But
could
you
have.
never know. Some women are some moms, women, whatever. I've seen some people where whatever the husband said, that was it. That and they didn't question them either A because they were scared of them themselves and didn't think that they could make it on their own,
Yeah.
or just didn't plain right care.
No. I believe her mother knew too because she called during the interview that they did, the news broadcast. She called Adam a monster, and that was before Kayla come forward with what Adam done. And also, Kayla said that they kept Harmony in a cooler at her mom's house when they stayed with her mom. So
Wow.
her mom knew that he had baby Harmony in her cooler. I think her mom covered for him. And I don't think that she deserves those kids or her mother. I think they need to take those kids and send them away from that family. But I think maybe her mom has custody of those kids, which I don't think she should have. But who am I?
Well, after my treatment and after I get better, I was talking with Mr. Christine, and I may end up just volunteering for our state CASA
Uh huh.
program,
Yeah.
which helps, children that are in placement or needs to be placed.
Uh huh.
Be the child's voice. I may end up volunteering there if
That'd be awesome.
if I. Mhm.
Unfortunately, living in a car, couch surfing, living on the streets in a tent isn't grounds for a child to be removed. Very sad. Wow, really?
The sad thing about when you're getting, and I don't know about every state, but I know this state, all they do is re-up your, like a credit card. Used to, when you get your benefits, you had to have a functioning, working address that you reside at. And not just say that you reside there, but you had to have proof. But now, since a lot of things have changed, they just fill up a card and boom, there it is.
Yeah, they sell their cards and everything. They sell their food stamp cards for money. You name it, they do it. Daisy, didn't Harmony have a brother? Yes, she had Crystal, her mother had a brother, had a son, and he was adopted out to two men adopted him, and they were the actually ones who reached out to Crystal and wanted to know where Harmony was at. That's the only reason why Crystal was looking for Harmony, because they reached out and wanted to know where Harmony was at.
They were going to adopt her. They wanted to adopt her too, right?
I think so. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I know that they were the ones that had reached out. Too little, too late, Crystal. Too little, too late.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
That's
know.
that whole Harmony situation just makes me angry to my core.
Yeah.
That
Well,
poor
Slender
that poor
Ranch,
child had nobody that cared about her. No one.
yeah. And hey, Dee Dee, how are you, honey? Did you make it home? But yeah, it's a shame that, and this one crocodile tearing it over. I don't even know why she's crying. I'm curious to see what they're going to
I
ask
think
her.
she's crying because she's ashamed of herself to let all this go on.
Exactly. And I don't think she should ever get her children back, ever. After
No.
what she let that monster do to Harmony, she
And
should.
if he was that violent to that little baby, he probably was violent to her too, because it don't stop with just one kid.
Crystal said
Mm-mm.
he was violent towards her, the mother of Harmony.
Yep.
They did
That's what I
drugs
thought.
together.
Yep.
She said they did drugs together. So, it's just, I don't get it. I don't get why Crystal didn't check on her for 2 years. I don't get it. I don't get. I would have busted that door down if I thought that some bitch was beating on my baby girl. I
Oh,
don't
you're
care
not even
what
kidding.
anybody said. I would have busted that damn door down and got my baby
Mhm.
girl out of that situation. A lot of
Yep.
people, oh well, she was this, that. No, no, she did not try until 2 years Later,
Well, I
that's
mean, if she knew that Harmony was even deceased and still collecting, benefits.
no. I'm talking about the biological mother. This is
Oh,
the stepmom up here that did that. The stepmom,
Kayla.
Kayla. Crystal is the biological mother. She didn't check on Harmony. She had a phone call with Harmony and him, and she said he was very mean to Harmony and he immediately disrupted the thing. And after that, she did not check on her baby for 2 years. She let that monster take care of that baby for 2 years. That's what I'm saying. Mother failed, stepmom is a monster, and dad's a monster.
And I
Failed.
hate to say this, but CPS failed her too.
Oh yeah. And the
To
police.
allow her to stay living and to sit there and be a squatter and then allow them to live in a vehicle just because they had food and a generator. Really, they didn't own that property. They weren't renting that property. That wasn't their residence. They should have not been allowed to keep those children unless they had a permanent residence. That is supposed to be how it is when you ugh, I can't even.
I know. And there was drugs in and out because the neighbors, I know the neighbors called and told them that there were drugs going in and out of that house. Kayla sitting, I mean, you're listening to her say that people were in and out of that house all the time, but yet they failed to save that baby. November was the last time they checked on her. They were called in November of that year. Harmony was killed December the next month. A few
Wow.
weeks after that, he murdered that baby.
Mm.
Yeah,
And
they
to
went.
sit there and stay with someone and tote her body they got a lot of nerve. Ugh.
It was hot. It was horrible hearing
They need to
Crystal.
be in the deepest, darkest dungeon
Oh,
that there ever was built.
She helped get Harmony's body out of those bags. She helped him put the lime on her. She helped him with everything.
What?
Mm.
Two disgusting monsters.
Was it just lime that they put on her, or was there something else too?
Lime is supposed to
I think there was
break
something
down
they put on
break
her.
down decomposition and make it go faster, but these
Maybe
people are monsters. I'm sorry.
I'd have to go back over the live stream that I went over when we went over all the.
I'm interested to see what tomorrow she says about it.
Well, they're doing jury selection tomorrow, so I don't know if the trial will actually start tomorrow or the next day.
Well,
But
that's going to be hard to do a jury selection with this case because this is a big case to have
uh,
somebody on the jury that's never heard of Harmony.
Harmony had a bigger reward fund than Summer did. She had 100, I think
I was
100.
on a jury one time, and let me tell you what, it wasn't for nothing like this, but this man kidnapped his girlfriend for a month, kept her barricaded in a room, and beat her every single day in the head and caused blood blisters on the top of her head where they would break open and she'd have to tilt her head to the side and drain the blood. Let me tell you what, I was on the jury, and there was like a little older lady who was like, well, this is his whole life. Maybe he's young and maybe oh, let me tell you what. In the end, this he got maximum everything across the board. So that means he can't even get out for good behavior.
Good.
Oh yeah, I was not going to sit there and let her say,
No.
"Oh, this could be the rest of his life. This could
Well,
yeah, what about the girlfriend that he was beating? What about her?"
yeah, and maybe next
Yeah.
time it'll be somebody's life.
That's what I said. I said, "Well, maybe he'll get out and move next to your granddaughter. Well, how would you like that?" And she was like, she changed her mind real quick then.
You told her that?
Yes, I did. I
Ooh.
sure enough did because she wasn't getting it. She was starting to feel sorry for this guy. What are you
Uh-huh.
feeling sorry for him for? He was all messed up and cracked out and
Yeah.
beating the crap out of his girlfriend and had her barricaded. And she wasn't even she had to poop and pee in a bucket. Are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
You're going to feel sorry for this monster? Not on my watch. No.
No.
No, I told her, I said, well, if he gets out, maybe he can move next to you and next to your granddaughter. She was like, oh, I'm changing my vote. I was like, I bet you are.
Yeah, thinking about it's scary. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
she don't want that monster next to her granddaughter. I guess
Uh,
not. But she
uh,
wasn't thinking that. She was thinking, oh, poor guy. No, no, poor guy. No, I
no.
don't care. No. So he got the full everything, first degree, all across the board. So he's going to be there for at least 20 years in prison with
Good.
no, no way of paroling out early for good behavior.
No. No.
No.
Good. And I
So
hope they get a tough jury trial on this one too. I
I hope they
after
do too.
after the jury hears what he did to that baby's body and what he did to her, and we still haven't heard everything. A lot is going to come out to trial of what he did to her.
I want to know if they found any of her pieces
No,
because I think that's important to have.
they haven't found her body. They found biological evidence in that apartment, but they have not actually found her body.
I want to know, I want to hear from the friend who helped disperse this body all over wherever they did it. And why is he not told where he threw these? He knows where he threw those pieces. Now, Adam might not say where he threw them, but this guy knows exactly what he did with those pieces.
Rachel. Exactly. That should come out in trial too. Hopefully, all this will come out in trial. I hope.
My husband says I missed my calling of not being an attorney.
I
I'm
wish
like,
it was
I don't think I could do it.
the attorney in the family. I wish instead of me going to nursing school and spending all that time and money, I would have went to law school instead. You know,
I don't know if I could do it just because sometimes these people make me, oh,
I couldn't represent nobody like that. I'll tell you that.
oh no, uh-uh.
I would be a mean district attorney. No, you'd be meaner than me.
Yeah,
You
I
would
just might.
their tails, wouldn't you?
When it comes to a child, I there should be no mercy. If you've harmed a child, there should be no mercy.
Exactly, I agree.
You
I
didn't give that child any mercy, there should be no mercy for you.
I agree 100%. I do, and it's sad. It's sad. It's so sad what this little baby girl went through. I just wanted to go save her. I just want to turn back time and go there and get her out of that car and take her home with me. But I know she's with God,
That's
and
what I
I
was
know
gonna say. That's the only saving grace for our hearts is
Package come in?
no, not yet. Well, my husband's not back yet, so it might have.
Okay.
We live in the country. We have to go to the post office and get it.
Oh, I didn't send it to the post office.
I know.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, we live in the country, so we
Still
we have to go there to get it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But the only thing that can save our hearts, because I know all of our hearts are hurting for her, for Harmony, is, she's safe with God and she's probably running through fields of flowers and butterflies and the warmth of the sun is around her and she doesn't have to sit here and look at these monsters, constantly beating her, starving her, abusing her,
Yeah.
wondering when her next beating will be. She doesn't have to feel that anymore. Now she feels joy, happiness, warmth, and she's with Jesus and happy. So that's the only saving grace that for her, and that makes me feel a little better that that she's there and she doesn't have to put up with this anymore.
Thank God.
Yeah.
It's saying departure scan en route to USPS.
Oh, it's en route. Okay.
So what does that mean?
En route means they haven't delivered it yet. Sometimes they come at like 6 o'clock.
February 6th by 7 p.m.
There you go. See?
It's today the 6th.
No, it's the 5th.
Why are they saying the 6th? It was supposed to be.
Mm.
Maybe it'll be tomorrow then. I don't know.
Well, it stops from,
Hmm.
from place to place. And like I said, we're in the country.
Do you go to chemo tomorrow?
Not tomorrow, but the next day, Wednesday.
Okay, maybe you'll get it before then.
Yeah, I'll probably get it tomorrow.
Before you go to chemo.
Yeah, I'll probably get it tomorrow. I bet if it's en route, that means it's probably not hit our post office yet.
Daisy,
When it says it's out for delivery, that's what you're looking for is out for delivery.
So they
En
may.
route means it's just to the next station, the next stop that it has to go to.
Okay, so you won't get it till tomorrow then, right?
Probably not.
Oh man.
I can't wait to get it.
I know. I'm excited for
You
you.
see all the cute stuff that everybody gave?
I know, and I'm
All
so
the
happy
cards. So
that.
cute.
I'm so happy that
Oh my
everybody.
gosh. And that coffee. Oh my goodness.
I know. What about
I
that
could
coffee?
drink a cup of it.
Coffee. I love coffee.
It's so smooth and it does not hurt my stomach.
Sweet of those people to do that for you.
It's Life's a Dance gave it. I found out it was Life's a Dance.
Oh, that's so sweet.
It was. I can actually drink it.
A blessing.
That is a blessing. I didn't mean to derail this whole live. It just made me mad, this whole thing here.
It does. It makes you so mad. Daisy, do you know if Harmony's mom is going to be in court? Yes, I believe she will be in court.
Is she going to be on the stand?
I believe she'll be on the stand. I believe she'll testify to the last time she talked to Harmony. I do believe that. Daisy, they need that lady attorney that handled the other couple that buried the child in the milk crate. I know they do. They need that district attorney. She ripped them to shreds. And I hope they do this to Adam because he's a smug son of a bitch. And he thinks that he is invincible.
Well, he's sitting there grinding his jaws. You can see his jaws like clenching together. You know how you can see it from on your temple and in your jaw. He's clenching his jaws, and I'm thinking, dude, go ahead, go for it, because that the police officer there will take you downtown.
You
Shoot.
see the interrogation, how cocky he was in the interrogation.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Some of these criminals think they're above the law and that no one will catch them.
Well, yeah, and plus he's been in jail before, so hell, you got 3 hots and a cot. You get anything you want in jail. Hell,
Just don't drop the soap.
They need to send these some bitches to like Mexico or somewhere like that where they have hardcore prisons.
They need to go to Alcatraz.
Which jail was it that they made them sleep outside in the hot weather with no air conditioning and shit?
That was in
That's
Texas.
some
Wasn't that in
bitches
Texas?
babies. I ain't for sure which one it was. But these some bitches that hurts these babies, they don't need no freaking mercy.
No, they don't.
Get mercy in hell when they're burning.
I think that they should get one meal a day, just like they gave the poor little Harmony.
I doubt she got one meal a day, to be honest with you.
Probably not.
I mean, if they got leftovers from
She probably
Thanksgiving,
didn't even get a cot. She probably slept on the floor.
she slept in that back seat. She probably sit in that back seat, her and those babies, all day, every day.
And she was
It-
probably afraid to tell him that she had to use the bathroom because he probably yelled at her when she did.
He he beat her.
I mean, yeah, he beat her when she went to the bathroom on herself, but
Yeah,
before that, she probably told
was
him that she had to go to the bathroom, and he probably beat her for just telling her,
yeah.
talking to him.
I guarantee he did.
Hmm.
Yeah, Crystal said he hated women. So I don't.
Wow.
Yeah, I
This
mean,
guy needs to never be out of
he's
out of prison.
got a criminal record. Grizzly True Crime went back and searched his criminal record, and we'll try to go over that some too another time. But even when he was a kid, he was into stealing, abusing. I mean, he was just a monster all the way around. She should have never been placed with him ever.
I don't understand if he was a felon, how she was even able to be placed with him.
I don't either, but
Because I did not know that a child could be placed with a felon.
I don't know.
Because if you're a foster parent, you cannot
According
have any kind of criminal record, not just felony record.
according to Crystal, she was supposed to show up for court, and she had court for her other baby, which was going to be adopted out to a good family. In my opinion, Harmony's was more important than his. She should have showed her ass up for Harmony's court case and made sure that Harmony did not get placed in that monster's care.
And what was he doing accepting her? If he didn't like kids or, couldn't barely take care of the two he already had, why would he even take, I guess, money? I
It
just
was
answered my own question.
what happened.
I said, I don't understand why he would even take responsibility for her if he couldn't care for her. But then I answered my own question
Yeah,
and just realized that it's because of money, because he was going to get another check.
yeah. She was Crystal said she was getting Social Security because of her eyesight.
Yeah.
So getting a Social Security check and food stamps on that baby.
Mm.
Yeah. So that's why he took her and kept her. He didn't want to give her up. He hated her, and he didn't love her. He just wanted the money so he could sniff it up his nose and whatever else.
Shoot it up his vein.
Yeah. I just don't have no mercy for him. I just feel like he is just the ugh. And I've got pictures of him in Harmony that you would never thought that he would hurt her. Like he truly acted like he loved her.
He,
But
he may have loved her at one time, but when you're on drugs and stuff,
Crystal actually said that he named her. He picked her name.
wow.
Yeah,
Harmony is a beautiful name.
it is a very beautiful name. But hang on just a second. I'm gonna did I delete those pictures? I probably did. Shoot. Wait, no, I didn't. Here they are. I'm gonna send that to the thing, and I'm gonna show you all those pictures of him in Harmony before she was unalived, or like when he first got her. Yeah, there we go. Let me pull them up right quick of him in Harmony, and you would have thought like he was the best dad ever in these pictures.
Well, you know what they say, you can hide anything in a photograph.
I know. I mean, if he hated that baby that bad, then why in the hell? Well, I guess it's the money. The
It's the
money.
money. Everything. What is the root of all evil?
Money.
Money.
Yep.
Everything leads back to money. That anything awful that happens, it leads back to money.
Yep.
Everything.
It does.
Everything.
It does.
Yep.
Oh, I can't. I have such a hard time with this computer. Hang on just a second. I'm going to try to bring that up if I can.
Okay.
What in the world? Hang on.
Yeah, poor little Harmony. She just did not, and God love her little heart. And you see her little eye all in a different direction, and then you just imagine him punching her in the face multiple times, more than one on one occasion, and it makes you cringe. It makes you just sick to your stomach. And as a mother, how could she sit there and allow that to happen?
Look,
Disgusting.
he looks just like him.
Disgusting.
Look just like him. Look at
She
her.
does look just like him.
She looks exactly like him.
Yep. Look at him. He just makes me want to puke. Look at her looking at him all happy. God love her little heart.
This was before he got custody of him. He was dad of the year.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. And then
Look how little she was. Oh, God love her.
yeah.
She was at least, I'm glad to see pictures of her happy at one time in her life, so she knew some happiness at some point.
She lived with, I guess, the foster parents, and then Crystal would go and see her. And so, but then Adam got word that he had rights to her. So
He said, I'm going to go get her and get my rights, and then we can collect money and food stamps off of her.
Look at those eyes. Look at those dark eyes. He's got dark. He's a monster. Even though he don't look like it there, she still seems like she's a little nervous with him in that picture.
With her finger in her mouth?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes that's a nervous thing.
Yeah. Could you imagine how she was after she lived with him?
But look, I'm glad. I mean, that the picture with her, like right, that one makes me know that at least for moments, brief moments in her short little life, she knew some points of happiness.
Yeah.
It wasn't all misery and abuse and just terrorizing and horrific things happening to her. At moments that she was happy.
He had her, I think, for approximately 8 or 9 months, they said.
Before he killed her, before he punched her in the face and did something to her.
Yeah.
I need to be careful and quiet.
I know.
It makes me mad.
It's hard, but God took her out of that situation. So
yeah,
I really don't think Crystal was going to get any better. I mean, who knows? She still could be on drugs. We don't know what she's doing. The biological mother.
Yeah.
We don't know. So I think God did what he had to do. And
my children are my everything, my soul, my heart. If something happens to any of my kids, if they even cry, if something sad happens to them, or if I even catch wind that somebody did something to any of my kids, I don't care how old they are, you can hear me leave my house. Yeah. I'm not kidding, because I am on it, and it breaks my heart to know that this poor little baby did not have anyone to fight for her.
Nope. I mean, Crystal was just like cold as stone to let this mother trucker do what he did to this precious, precious, innocent baby. Not Kayla.
We got to just keep imagining in our mind that she's in heaven. She's in heaven, and she is playing in fields of flowers, wildflowers and butterflies, and she feels the warmth of the sun and the warmth of God's love, and she's holding Jesus's hand, one person she can trust.
Now, this case right here deserves a death penalty.
Yes, he does.
Hey, Angel Girl.
He not only just killed her, but he drug her from place to place and then dismembered her, and then had a buddy help him disperse her body in bags in different places. What a disgusting piece of poop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Makes me mad.
Isaiah 57 helps us understand. The devil is in this man. The devil is in this man. You know, they were saying on the Giselle's channel that he had that teardrop. Yeah, he did. I started to say he did have that teardrop.
Isn't that supposed to mean that he killed somebody?
Yeah, but he's had that since he was like a young kid. He had it done when he
Well, I
was
wonder if he killed somebody when he was a young kid and just never got caught and got a teardrop to represent it.
that I
When
don't.
you're a
Prophetic.
teenager, you can get away with a lot of stuff because you get passes when you're a teenager.
Yeah, but he's got an extensive criminal record, and for them to hand that baby over to this monster with that kind of record, it does not make one bit of sense to me whatsoever.
Yeah, the system definitely failed Harmony 100,000%. And this
It,
is a good example of a case that a child was failed miserably by every single person.
yep, yep, it definitely was.
And obviously, if CPS had been called multiple times, that means neighbors were seeing abusive behavior going on and
Probably.
a lot of neglect.
Well,
And,
the uncle did. His uncle said that he was bragging about punching her in the eye. He gave her a black eye. His uncle came forward and told him. They went out there, investigated, and did nothing about it.
did they even look at Harmony, or just he said that she was sleeping and they didn't even get to see Harmony?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I
See, and
think
that's something that needs to be brought up in the records because that's important, because these people need to be retrained if that's what happened. And I believe hearing something like that, if that is what happened, then there's some training that has been lapsed in the CPS system.
maybe the uncle did waited too long, and her black eye was healed by then.
I don't know.
The cheese man, but the uncle has come out and stated that he was bragging about making her stand in the corner till she used the bathroom on herself, making her clean the toilets with toothbrush and all that.
Mm.
He alleged punched her in the eye, because give her a black eye, because he went to take a shower or use the bathroom, and he left Harmony alone with the newborn baby. And when he came back out, Harmony had put her hand over the baby's mouth, trying to get the baby to stop crying. And he flew mad and give her the black eye.
Why is he leaving a 5-year-old or a 4-year-old with a newborn baby?
Exactly.
I
I
mean,
mean, we don't know what other abuse those other two boys went through. We don't know if they were abused. They were just babies. They probably couldn't tell. Um, I don't know if Kayla let him hurt those kids. She was
I mean,
on.
this is a trail of horrific abuse, neglect, everything all the way around.
Yep, absolutely it was, and it's sad. They're supposed to hair, huh?
What?
What diamonds?
Huh?
Supposed to hair? She said. I don't.
Supposed to hair?
I don't know. She must have
What's that
missed.
mean?
They're supposed to take pictures. Yeah, they were supposed to take pictures. I don't know exactly what they did when they went and investigated. I know they were called several times.
Well, I'd be interested for them to pull those records up,
Was taken to in the
but I bet you
hospital.
those aren't going to be included.
He still looks evil in it to me, right, Tamara? This is the first time hearing about this. Is this the first time you've heard about Harmony's case? I've covered Harmony a lot more in the earlier. There's just not been no new updates. We covered it when they were taking the refrigerator out of the apartment. I knew there was something in it because they put black plastic around it and had biohazard. Remember, Bashley was boots
Yep.
on the ground.
Yep. I remember that. And I remember you and I were on live saying, yep, there's DNA in there. There has to be, because I've never seen a refrigerator removed from any crime scene unless there was DNA in it.
Yeah, and to hear when you read the papers on where her witness statement, she talked about when they took Harmony out of the bag, you could still tell it was Harmony. You could tell by her face and her hair and
But
all
see,
that.
that's intent though. It can't have been an accidental death, or they can't claim any of that because they moved her from place to place. And even if they did put her in a bag, was she all the way deceased before they did this big old journey?
That's my question. Was she
Exactly.
dead or was she unconscious and woke up in the back of that damn bag?
Mhm.
That's my concern. Was I just
And that's why I can't we just my
no,
mind can't go there.
I can't neither. I mean, him being he probably wanted her to be that way, in my opinion, both of them.
But it just sounds like from them moving from place to place with her that at first when they stuck her in the very first bag, she may not have been deceased.
Exactly.
Because why would they stick her in a bag? Wouldn't they, I don't know. But to me, I have this, it's
It was
just,
a gym bag, an Under Armour gym bag.
I feel like she might have been injured and they didn't want to take her to the hospital and just put her there until hoping that she would
Just
hurry up and meet Jesus.
well, if he hit her that hard to where it popped, he probably fractured her skull, and she probably had a brain bleed, and she probably did not know even if she was
Oh, but they
still.
didn't check on her for 20 minutes though, remember? Isn't that what she said?
She quit moaning after 5 minutes. They said she was moaning for 5 minutes, and then after 5 minutes, she quit moaning, and then they didn't check on her for 20 minutes.
20 minutes riding around in the back car with her with an infant on one side and a toddler on the other. Okay.
2 infants.
I don't buy it.
I don't know. It's sad. It's so. It makes me want to cry.
I
But
know.
I don't know. The school is pretty tough. I don't know if a punch would cause that.
It depends on how hard he punched her. Uh, listen, my son was an MMA fighter, and when you're fighting around like that, even men's skulls can crack.
He was
You
a
hit
big.
it in the right spot. Mhm.
He was a big man, so there's a good chance that he could have
And she was only 5, and I don't know when a soft spot heals completely, but,
Yeah.
I mean, she was just a baby.
Well, this probably wasn't the first time that he's done this. She
No.
probably had many, many.
And why is he punching her?
That's what he did. He punched her around. He beat her up all the time. Why anyone could do that, it makes me so angry.
Me too.
I'll find out the extent in the next week, next couple weeks. I think trials go on for how many weeks? Like what, 4 to 6 weeks?
It depends on how much evidence and what they need to present.
Yeah.
And then not only that, when it's time for the jury to make their decision, that could go on for a long time too. Mine only went on for 3 days, and that was that small of a case. This is a huge case, and it depending on what the jury is, if they start arguing around with each other, the jury decision could go on for a while too.
How could somebody represent some bitch like that? I wouldn't want to be a law to represent some bitch like that.
I don't know. I mean,
Oh, I
you would
just
think that these lawyers would, some of them, that's why some of them withdraw from some of these cases because they can't handle it. I couldn't. I wouldn't. I'd I would be a really bad attorney, and that's probably why I would have because if I would have had to represent someone like him, I would have lost on purpose.
Yeah.
I'm
He's an
sorry, but
arrogant
that's
bitch.
true.
He's an arrogant son bitch.
I
I
mean, you've
mean,
got all these witnesses saying that they seen him do it, and also people bragging that he did it. So there's no doubt in the mind that he was the one who did it.
yeah,
So it's not
exactly.
like, um, it's on accusation. No, you've got witnesses and you have got people saying that he admitted saying it. So
Yeah.
I mean, obviously did it. And, he's probably knowing that he's going to get the death penalty, and they may even put a deal on for him where if he admits to all what he done, that he may just get life in prison and not the death penalty. It depends on what
They're not
they
going
offer him.
They're not going for capital.
What?
No. They're not going for capital murder on him. I don't think it's in that state. I don't think they can do it in that
So he
state.
can't get the death penalty?
No, I think he's got, I'm not sure what all charges he's got, but no, they're not going for capital. I think they should go for capital, but
What the heck?
yeah. Yeah.
He toted her body around for, oh, I don't even.
I know. Yeah. That's the sad part of it, is that
That is
he's not.
intent. That is not an accident. That is intent. And not only that, to conceal what you've done. That I can't.
I know. I know it's sad, but you know, uh, someone was doing a live about Allie. I Not to change the subject or anything, but I was told concretely Allie did pass away, and she has been Allie from Summer's case.
Mhm.
She had passed away because I know somebody that knows somebody that actually went to the service and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
they just kept it
I hope
hushed.
she rests in peace.
I do too. But yeah, Allie did pass away, and they already had a service for her and everything. But I just seen where somebody was going live, no
Mm.
confirmed, and I know that there was someone that
I'm sure there's still people doubting it.
somebody that went to the actual service and stuff of
Yeah.
Allie. So, but yeah, and there's a 12-year-old missing here where I live at. Justin did a live on it earlier. I had no idea.
You didn't get an Amber Alert?
No, I've not got no Amber Alert or nothing.
Is she on the endangered child?
School, huh?
Is it is so I don't know if I
Seen
think
no,
I have had an endangered child alert before,
no,
but you didn't get an Amber Alert or an endangered child, nothing?
nothing. She's 12 years old, and she
Hmm.
went missing right down from the school, at Meadowview, down from Meadowview
Do they
School.
think she's a runaway, or do they think foul play happened, or what?
I don't know. I've just seen it right before. I seen Justin put where she was from, and I was like, "What?" And I didn't go in there because he was actually covering Michael's case at that time. So I just looked it up, and I couldn't see a whole lot. But she went missing actually on the 4th. But no,
That was
no word.
yesterday. The 4th was yesterday,
Yeah, so I've
I
not
think.
heard anything, and there's not been a.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask Bub about it and see what he has to say, since he went to Meadowview and at one time, and so I don't know, but it was on Meadows Lane, and that's near the school. So I don't know if she went missing at school or after school or what.
Well, I've seen a couple news reports here where there's been like regular cars pull up next to kids that are walking home from school and getting out of their vehicle and trying to throw them in the back of their vehicle. One person's driving and the passenger gets out to get
Yeah.
the child.
Wow.
Mhm.
That's scary. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
it
look
is.
more into it. If she's not found and if we get a Amber Alert. But the TBI actually put it out for Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. So yeah, look at Harmony. I know, but we are going to be covering this case this week for the weeks on. I will be covering this case, y'all, and I might give y'all an update if I can find out more about the missing little girl here in Morristown. So, um, yeah, I was not aware of it at all.
I
So,
know I didn't get anything
yeah, I
because
know.
I mean, as soon as I think if any of us, even in the chat, get an Amber Alert for any reason, we need to get the community together like we did with this last one and get the word out there as fast as we can. Everybody share it, everybody cover it so that, I mean, that's what our community is about, is trying to help missing and exploited children. So that's the best thing we can do. We're not law enforcement. We can't do anything lawfully like they can, but what we can do is spread awareness and spread that, this child's missing, and we can put pressure on the person if because an Amber Alert means that they've been taken, and there has to be a vehicle, there has to be a a license and a license plate that you could actually track. So we could get all that information out there and put on the pressure. We could help the police by doing that, is putting pressure on a person who took the child. Oh yeah, we could do that because we're strong as a community.
We are. Nora said, "Hi, beautiful Miss Christine. I love
Hey,
you."
Nora Woods. Love you too.
These cases are sad, but I'm curious to know what happened to that little girl here in our
Well, let's
town.
look it up, Daisy. Look it up right where you're on live. Let's look it up
Okay, hang on just a second. Let me
because
see.
I want to know too. Don't you all want to know some
I
more
do.
information about her? I do.
I do too. Let me see if I can. She missing
It don't
girl.
matter if she's 12 or she's 5. She's still a little girl.
I know. Hang on. Let me see if I can find it. Bub's not home today. Well, he probably had to work after school.
Nobody's gonna be messing with Bobby.
Oh no, but I wonder if Bub knows about this.
I was gonna say they'd be too scared to mess with him. They wouldn't try to take him at all.
Here it is, right here.
He'd throw them to the ground and
He body slam them. Hey,
yes,
bro.
he would.
So
Bubby's
right here,
muscles.
a 12-year-old girl missing in Morristown. Last seen in Morristown. It says Knoxville, Tennessee, a young girl has been reported missing in Hamlin County. Elena Sawyers, 12, was last seen on February 4th, according to the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. TBI shared that Sawyer's 5'6" tall. She's pretty tall, ain't
She's
she?
tall as me.
200 pounds with brown hair and brown eyes. She was last seen in Meadow Run Drive in Morristown wearing a Winnie the Pooh t-shirt, hoodie, and Crocs. Man last seen in Jefferson. Oh, okay. Anyone with the information about Sawyer's location is asked to contact Hamlin County Sheriff's Department. And they don't go into details about it. Let's see what this says. Hang on. It
Now, is
says
that an Amber Alert or is that just a missing child?
just a missing child alert. There's no Amber Alert. I've not got one.
I'm wondering if she's a runaway. I don't know if they would issue a Amber Alert. That might be why you didn't get one.
I don't know. She could be, but it's near the school where she's missing at. There's nothing new. This is a developing story. Download W to sign up. So there's nothing new. There's no Amber Alert. So I don't know.
Huh.
Let me go back and see if there's anything on this. I hope my phone don't go dead on this. If it does, I'll be back. So it wasn't until Justin knew about it more than I did, and he don't even live in this town.
Well, he may have a subscriber or someone who, like
Are
how
you
I
looking for a
contacted
unique pool
you
experience that blends seamlessly with your landscape?
on the
Southern Pools
tile.
and Spas.
Deputies need your help finding a missing girl. This is 12-year-old Elena Sawyers. She was last seen in the Meadow Run Drive area in Morristown wearing a Winnie the Pooh t-shirt, a hoodie, and Crocs. If you've seen Elena or know anything about where she could be, please call police. Stay with us as we continue to learn more about the armed robbery on UT's campus and the missing 12-year-old out of Hamlin County.
So that's all I know. I mean, I don't know anything else about it. I'm gonna have to
Huh.
find out if they don't find her.
Yeah.
Hey, Tracy. Hi, Tracy.
Hi,
Amber
Tracy.
only issued for proving kidnapping. I know.
Right.
I mean, you think there'd be some kind of other alert for a child that's going missing.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. It's weird. I mean,
Yeah, that's one of the criterias that has to fit in to get an Amber Alert to be issued. And that could be why. It's maybe she's walked off and she's a runaway and,
could have
you
run off
know,
man. I don't know.
usually around that age, 12 is when they do
Start
get
running.
upset and run away for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But
I
the
hope.
police are really good at tracking them down and getting
Oh,
into getting into their Facebooks and their TikToks and contacting their friends and putting pressure on the friends' parents. Oh yeah.
well, Hamlin don't play. They got a great police department here.
Oh yeah, Hamlin don't play at all.
No, they don't.
They listen, you do the time, you do the crime, you do the time in Hamlin.
Yeah. So hopefully they'll find her. I pray they find her.
I bet you they will.
I hope so because poor girl. Um, have you seen? Oh, Christy, y'all, I made fake Hostess cupcakes, and I'm going to do a DIY on how to do it. Should I
Don't
show?
y'all think she could sell those on Etsy? I think she could.
Yeah, I'm going to post a picture of them, give y'all a glimpse of it. Glad to hear your voice, Miss Christine. You sound good. Family of 3 said.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
I'm gonna
In
set
about 2 days, I have to go back for treatment. So usually the day before and the day like 2 days before and the day before I do really well like now, and then it's time for treatment again. So at least I get 2 days of feeling okay.
Yeah, I think so
So I
too.
feel happy about that. At least there's 2 days of,
I'm
you know,
feeling decent until the red devil comes.
yeah.
Then
Well, even before that, this last one, oh my gosh, I thought, I don't know. When
okay,
my temperature
I'm-
spiked to 102.6, I felt like delirious.
yeah, she was pretty sick, y'all.
Mhm.
Here is the fake cupcake
Doesn't
hostess
that look like a cupcake?
fake hostess cupcake.
It's a fake one I made. I made it
I'm gonna do a
Look at
DIY.
it. Look at the bottom. It even looks like a cake.
I know.
It's a fake one I made.
I'm making another
I
one.
made it
Looks like it's bit out of.
today.
Look at the bottom. It even looks like
It's a
it's even
fake
got the little
hostess
dot
cake.
on the bottom where they
It's
put
a
the.
fake one I made. I made it
One said he was going to eat it. He
today.
came down the steps and said
It's a fake hostess cake.
That's what I said. She sent me a picture and I said, "Dang, that looks good." And she said it's fake. I'm like, "It's fake. It looks like you can eat it."
I know. I'm making another one that's got a bite bitten out of it. I'm going to show y'all. But stay tuned because I'm going to do a video on it tonight on my beautiful designs. If you've
Daisy, you
not,
can sell those. I'm telling you, you can sell them on Etsy.
who would want to buy a fake?
To do because when you do showcases like people that set rooms up or just for decoration, yeah, you can. I promise you, you can sell those on Etsy.
I don't know. I'm thinking about making another cake too, a fake cake.
Why are you making fake ones when you can make real ones?
That's true. That's true. But just for display.
Shoot, I want to eat that one.
Thank you.
Look when you pick it up. Look, you guys watch when she picks it up. Look at the bottom. Watch. It's even got the little spot where they stick the cream and stuff in.
Well, I'm making.
Did you do that on purpose?
No.
Look at the bottom. Look, see it? See the little hole? If you look at one of those cakes, there's a hole at the bottom where they put the creamy stuff in. And look, Daisy has it on the bottom of that one. Look, right there. See it?
I got one that's going to be even better. It's going to have a bite out of it with the cream in the middle. So stay tuned on that one.
Look, you could eat I'm telling you what, you could sit that out and that could be a hoax.
Oh, no, it really could. I told Evelyn that I was going to make her a fake cake to display at her restaurant.
See?
Because she can't leave cakes out in the thing. Have any of y'all seen my fake cake, my other fake cake?
The strawberry one or the cherry one?
The cherry one, yeah.
Yeah, I seen it. That thing looked good too.
I'm going to add some more stuff to that as well, but I'm going to do a video on how to make these fake cakes, fake cupcakes. They're actually quite easy to make. They're not that hard to make.
I'm telling you now, you can sell those. You guys convince her to try to put them on Etsy and sell them.
I will if I know anybody would buy them. I would.
Etsy has a huge following. It could be used for a lot of different things. And if they don't sell right away, that's okay, but they will eventually sell. I'm telling you, they'll
Yeah.
sell.
I would definitely want to sell them, especially the cakes. Here is actually the fake cake I made. If for those of y'all that hasn't seen it
Look how
yet,
cute that
I
is.
put the breast cancer thing on it. And
Aw.
while you're on here, I'm going to show you the nutcracker. I updated it with some bling. Hang on.
Uh-oh. You blinged him out?
I blinged him out.
He represents the breast cancer proudly for all the survivors.
And I posted 2 videos today from the antique shop on Beautiful Designs and thrift shop. And I've got more. Hang on, I'm gonna show you.
You went to a thrift shop today?
Yeah, I went to Goodwill.
Ooh. Goodwill's always fun to go rummage through.
My face, but
Huh?
this is blinged out.
Wow, you did do a lot of stuff to him.
I blinged him.
Dang. He looks good.
I look like crap today, y'all, but
Well, he's big too. I didn't realize how big he is.
yeah,
He's tall. He's about what? 24 inches?
he's bigger than that, I think.
Wow. He's beautiful.
I blinged him out. I still got some more I'm gonna do with him, but
Standing strong, representing us survivors of breast cancer.
out, so
I guarantee if you put that one on Etsy, it'll sell right now.
I don't want to sell him though. I'm gonna use him for Valentine's Day, Christmas, whatever.
You're gonna decorate him.
Yeah. So next cake will be a better cake. I'll have more fake cake stuff. This was actually my first cake I've ever made. I have done like a hot chocolate topper, but this is actually my first one. So if y'all haven't subscribed to Beautiful Designs, go on over and subscribe. I will be posting I don't know if I'll do a video or a live stream. I might do a live stream tonight, showing y'all how to make those cupcakes or the hosties or whatever.
Oh my gosh, those Hostess cupcakes look so good. That cake looks so good too.
Oh, that's Evelyn. Hang on.
Yeah, that cake looks so good. Looks like you can eat it.
Well, except for the stickers on it. I probably should have not put
Yeah, but you can't tell that's a sticker.
I know. I'm gonna get more realistic stuff. And now I've got molds too. I got molds in. So I can hang on. I'm trying to find that cupcake.
You need to make some real ones.
I wished I could make a Hostess real one. That looks good. I want to eat it myself, but
Heck yeah. How'd you get the cakey part to look cakey like that?
it just does once you paint it and everything. It looks like cake.
Dang. That looks
It's
just
cool.
like one.
Oh, wait till you see the one that's bitten in half. I'll show y'all how to do that one too. But go on over to Daisy's Beautiful Designs, and it's on my. If anybody could post the link in the chat for me, so I could, if y'all want to go over and subscribe to the channel.
How'd you get the bite marks?
I had to cut it out like a bite mark.
Did you like make teeth marks on it?
I'm not done with it yet, huh?
Did you make it look like teeth marks?
No. It just looks like somebody bit. I've not even got the filling or anything in. I'm just letting it dry right now, the paint part of it.
Yeah.
And then I'll do the rest of it.
Mm.
It's not hard at all, actually, to make.
See, I'm not crafty like that.
You could be. It's not that hard, actually. So
yeah, but you got to have the vision for it. I don't have the vision to be.
I'm also going to try to make some sugar cookies if all possible too.
Like real sugar cookies or fake ones?
No, fake ones. I've made real ones before, but I'm actually gonna try to make some fake heart ones for Valentine's Day, as well. So anybody that wants to go
That's
and
making me salivate. I'm hungry.
oh, I need to take it down.
I told her, I was like, my gosh, that looks just like a daggone Hostess cupcake.
I know.
What the world?
It's real. Once you watch me do it, you'll be like, "Oh,
That's the
that's
biggest Hostess cupcake I ever did see.
yeah, it's big." Because I had to use a form that's actually big, and to beat it all, the actual cupcake part I got from the material from the Dollar Tree, and I'll show you all that tonight when I do it online for you
The
guys.
icing part, is that what you're talking about?
No, the icing part is actually made out of mold. I used clay, molding clay
Uh-huh.
for that. But I'll show all that tonight whenever I go live on that beautiful designs thing.
What'd you make the white curly icing
Out
from?
of
Molding
spackle,
clay?
out of spackle, white spackle.
Spackle? Man, that looks
Yeah,
just
that's
like
frosting from. Yep, that's
man.
made from spackle. Bub would have got. He would have thrown up if he would have took a
Heck,
bite of
he would have picked that up and like, wait a second.
that. I must have got a little spackle at the bottom, but hell, that makes it look even more real.
Heck yeah, it does, because that's the hole where they put the filling in it, the
Yeah,
icing filler.
yeah. I didn't know that, but
Yeah, watch the next time you guys turn what the next. I know a lot of people may not know that, but the next time you eat a Hostess cupcake like that, turn it upside down and look. There's a hole at the bottom where they put the filler.
weird, ain't it? How that done?
I know it's like I thought you did it on purpose
Mm-mm. No,
to make it be exactly like it.
I did a couple practice shots before I actually tried to put the twirl on top,
Yeah.
and I must have set it down on one of those practice things and got a little bit on the bottom,
Well,
which
hey,
makes
it
it even more realistic.
yes, it does.
Yeah. So
Because
I'm
one of my boys, when they used to eat they would flip it over and eat the
and they're
where they.
so good. They're so good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, a
That
real
does look good. If I could taste it, boy, that would be great.
that's a real Hostess cupcake's smaller than that.
You know what would be neat if somebody made like a real cake as a big, huge Hostess cupcake like that, but like in a cake size. That would be, and then put the filler on the inside just like a Hostess cupcake, but it be a big cake.
Oh yeah, there's a cake like that they sell at Food City. It's not like made in that shape, but it's got the same consistency as a Hostess, and it's so good
I bet.
because that's actually whipped frosting. I think
Heck yeah, it is.
like whipped cream.
Mm-hmm. Whipped
I could
frosting.
probably make it if I want to. If I wanted to really do it, and I had a pan to do it, I could probably make a real cake like that. And
Like a big one.
yeah, what you would use on top would be dark fondant, chocolate fondant is what they put on top of that with
Ooh.
frosting.
When
Hmm.
I still had alive taste buds, that would be so yummy. I can't taste a thing. I can't even taste my sherbet anymore.
Oh,
It sucks. Like I don't want to eat anything because it's all tastes like a big thing of mud.
if I was you, when I got my taste buds back, I'd go get me the biggest plate of food of whatever you like to eat and chow down.
Well, it's kind of like a mental mind mess up because like I love my homemade tacos and I just made them for my daughter-in-law and my son. I took a bite out of one and it was disgusting, but they were eating the crap out of it. They're like, "Man, these are the best tacos you've made, Mom." And I'm like, because tacos are my son's favorite. That one's favorite. That one son's favorite are my tacos. So I made them for him Saturday because they always come over every Saturday, and they loved them. But I took a bite out of one, and I'm telling you, I might as well just went outside and got a scoop of mud and ate it. That's what it tastes like. Nothing. It was
Have you ever
gross.
made your own sprinkles on cookies? I haven't.
What? Sprinkles out of cookies?
Mm-mm. I've never made it.
You make you can make your own sprinkles?
Mm, I don't
Huh.
know. But
You guys are crafty.
you should be able to get it after all this is over. It should come back. I hope it does.
I hope so. It's making me not like any of my favorite foods.
I know, and it, kind of like when you're pregnant, some things you loved you can't, but you
Yeah.
can't eat nothing, can you?
Nothing. Nothing. The only thing that actually doesn't taste like actual mud is rice. The rice, I guess, because you don't have to really chew it. Really, it doesn't taste like anything, so it doesn't taste like mud either.
Well, that's good. Is there
Yeah.
anything you can get a taste from? Anything that there's taste?
No, I can taste hot and cold.
That's it.
That is it.
And
My
you don't
taste buds are burnt. Huh?
textures bother you too, you said.
Oh, yeah. Like even before this, I could if I took a bite of something like say like okay at Bucky's, I got their barbecue and I was like so looking forward to eating this sandwich, right? I always take the top bun off and eat the meat and the bottom bun. Well, I took a bite out of it. Oh, oh my gosh. I got
Did
the
you get a
biggest
gristle?
biggest hunk of fat there ever was.
I hate that.
I swear it was everything I could take but to open that car door fast enough. I could oh, it was it was like not even like cooked fat. It was like slimy fat.
Yeah,
Ugh.
I know what
Ugh.
you're talking about. It's disgusting.
Now my son and my husband, all three of my boys and my husband can chew on a big chunk of fat.
Mm-mm.
Not me.
No.
You put if I even get a hindrance of fat on any of my food, even like you know how you get those little chicken strips and like they're grilled or something. Well, at the very end, there's like a bristle on every single daggone one of them.
Mm-hmm.
If I get one of those and accidentally eat it, that's it. I can't. There's anything I could do to help stop myself from puking. I can't help it.
Well, we got some meat one time from our neighbor, and we bought a half a cow, and it was all fat. It was nothing but fat,
Oh,
and it was horrible. I didn't like it. Now, fat does give it flavor, a little bit of fat, but I don't like them gristles.
or the big old like the wobbly fat. You know what I'm talking? That just makes me want to. That hurts my stomach.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? That wobbly, like I don't even know, like fatty fat. Oh my gosh, it's like why don't they cut that out? Nobody wants to chew on that.
I
Now I
know.
can't. Bucky's ain't getting another chance.
I don't like Bucky's. I don't like Bucky's pulled pork anyway.
Well, I thought, well, that's what they're, known for. I thought, and I told my husband, I'm like, watch, I probably got the only sandwich that's got a big chunk of fat in it. As soon as I took a bite, boom, there it was. I thought, I knew it.
Mm-hmm.
I should have had those boys. There's a bunch of kids in there, and I should have had them cut it right off the thing, fresh, instead of one of them dumb wrapped up sandwiches, and told them no fat. Don't put no fat in there.
I don't care much for their steaks and their all that brisket stuff. I'm not a big fan.
No. Mm-mm. I'll never give it a try again, that's for sure. My husband ended up eating my sandwich because I couldn't eat it. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Bucky's briskets and barbecue. I don't like it because I don't like that either. I'm like you. I don't like that fat and
That jiggly fat, ugh.
oh, darn
And
if
you
it
could tell it too. You could tell when as soon as you bite into that thing, you know it's a piece of fat. Oh,
mm-hmm.
that's why when I eat barbecue, it's only barbecue that I fix or people that I know that fix it because they know they cut that stuff out of there.
Daisy make a fake steak. I don't know how to do that. I'm just now learning how to do all that other the cupcakes.
All the sweetie sweets.
The sweet stuff, yeah.
The sweetie sweets. That'd
Diamonds
be
help
cute
me
if you
lots.
made some with like cupcake paper, like the paper stuff, and then make cupcakes and put them in there as fake ones, with the paper and everything on it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That'd be
Well, I
cute.
could do that. I could do that if I wanted to.
And then you can decorate it with the changing of the seasons.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I also got some cow molds in today, and I'm gonna try to work with that too for
What is
little.
it?
I might
What kind of molds?
cow molds. I got them from Timu in today.
COW?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Little cow molds. I'm gonna try to make me a fake cow cake.
Out of the mold?
No, I'm gonna use those molds. What I'm gonna do is I'm either gonna put modeling. I'm gonna make little molds of cows, different little,
Oh, like they're on, like, put
and
them
then
on the cake.
put them on a cake. And I'm gonna try to make a cow cake.
Oh, that'll be
My
cute.
next project is a cow cake. But I told Jinkies I could make her one of those fake cakes that people wouldn't even be able to tell it's not a cake. I'd be asking to buy a piece of that cake. But
Yeah, but then she'd have to make it as her dessert.
no, because I would just make people want desserts, and she'll be like, "Well, that's not real, but I got this."
Yeah, that's true.
Like, people want the sweet tooth because she does have good desserts, but that would entice people into buying more.
Heck yeah, she had. Shoot,
Cakes.
when I was down there, she gave me she gave me a specialty one. She gave me all of the proteins that she had, and your grandma's recipe, or was it your grandma or your mom's meatloaf recipe?
My
Like a
mom.
piece of it. That was good.
Oh, yeah, I've not eat there in a while. I've not got me some free 99.
I got pulled chicken, barbecue pulled chicken.
Pork, pork. I can't even talk.
And she had also chicken and dumplings,
Now I'll tell you one.
turkey and gravy and mashed taters. It was good.
My sister, our oldest sister that lives in Virginia, now she can cook. She's a perfectionist. Man, are you talk about cook? She can cook. No doubt about it.
Well, why don't she have a restaurant?
I don't know. I've told her, I was like, I'll go over and film you and build you a channel. She's not techie. She don't like to get on, like, she gets on YouTube just to get in the middle of me and Jinky's arguments. But other than that, she's not techie. But I mean, she could. The way she cleans her house, her home is immaculate. Immaculate. And she's always she could look at a picture and make a cake just like it. Like she's like perfectionist in everything that she does. She's
Wow.
OCD. But yeah, man. Oh, the food she makes is so good.
So I take it when she has a party at her house, everybody's showing up.
Everything is perfect. She has it out in the displays. Perfect. Dips, you name it. She's got it all laid out. Perfection.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna take a video next time she ever has a video get together at her house with all that food and stuff displayed out like that and show everybody she's fancy Nancy.
Fancy,
The
fancy.
problem is now she's got a bunch of heathen grandkids, so that's real hard for her when the family's over because the mom and dad just drops them off and lets them run loose, and she's running behind them, because she's got used to it
Like
now.
going to having a tornado in your house, especially if, you
Three
know,
little tornadoes,
you
three
got
of
a you got a house that's clean and everything's where it should be, and then you got three little ones twirling around like a little tornadoes all over the place. They got their hands on everything.
Yeah, they do. Luckily, she's got a big 3-story home. Like they got a huge home.
I bet you she has a play area for them to that's where they could get
Probably has,
corralled to.
yeah, probably has something. I know their basement is set up as one.
A
So
play area? Oh yeah, they probably have a ball that in their basement at the play
probably,
area.
yeah, she's got all that fixed up, but she's totally different than me and Jinkies. We're like she's a different species.
Mm, She
But
fancy pants.
yeah, she's got a different father than we do. Me and Jinkies has the same mom and dad. She has our mom, but she has a different
Were
father.
you all three raised together?
Yes, she was our older sister, and so we were the little mean asses that she had to take care of when she was 12, 13-year old. And
Oh my goodness.
yeah, she's like a second mom to me and Jinkies and my brother Jeff. She's like a second mom to us.
So when she talks, when she tells you to do something, do you all listen?
I do. Yeah.
Jinkies don't. Jeff
Well,
don't.
yes, Jinkies does a little bit, but
What about
like
your brother?
yeah,
He listens to her too.
pretty much. Yeah, I mean, she's like our older sister that's got three little brat brothers and sisters that but see, she got
Then
pregnant
she's used to it. So
she got pregnant when she was 16 and we were little. So I think I was 8 when Larry was born, my nephew.
mm,
And so we were around him like he was our little brother that we tormented. You know what he said to me? He called me yesterday and he told his wife that I was a white Medea.
no, he didn't.
Yes, he did. He said, my aunt is a white Medea. I said, but I always was close to him. Like he would stay all night with us and stuff, and I'd sit up at night, look over him. I'd always make sure he was breathing. Like I mommied him. Like
Oh,
I'm like a mom to him more than I am an aunt.
an Aunt Medea.
Aunt Medea, because he wanted to know. He called. He was nosy. He wanted to know what happened with Benny. You know,
Oh,
and he freaked out when he found out Benny had my
had to
husband
be put down.
up in the air in the car.
Oh my goodness. Yeah,
Like
that's bad.
literally, the whole top front of the car was lifted straight up. The back,
Did it
end
anything
was
happen to the frame of the car?
yeah,
Is
all
it
of that.
totaled? Is it a totaled?
No, it's not completely totaled, and he's already got a lot of that out. Um, I can send you pictures. It's got horn. He's literally stuck his horns through the damn car.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's every all the way around the car. Like the the headlights are busted out.
Where'd he lift it up at? From the front?
And the front end, the whole front end of the car up.
Where did his horns go in? Like the grill part or?
They went in everywhere. Like I seen it from the beginning, and then he took off up the hill trying to get him to go back into the barn, and he got stuck in the mud up there, and that's when Benny decided he was going to go full force.
He was gonna bash him around like
Yeah,
a
and
like a toy.
when my neighbor came up there, uh, Benny had the car pinned up against a pole, and on the other side, my neighbor actually shot across the car to Benny.
Benny, when
Still
those,
didn't stop him. It still did not stop Benny.
uh,
Continued, yeah.
well, sound like he was in a rage because he
Rampage.
probably smelled all those cows that are in heat, and when
It's like he was possessed
unfixed
or something.
males come into heat like that,
Yeah.
there's they become an animal that they're not normally.
Well, at about 3 years old, they all say it. At the age of 3 is when they get violent. And my neighbor that rents the property over here, well, I call him a neighbor, but really his cows stay on my neighbor's property. He said he had a $9,000 Angus bull. Exit Siri.
Okay. I found this on the web for he said he had a 9,000.
Siri's nosy. He said he had a 9,000. Oh, she's still.
Okay. I found this on the web for he said he had a 9,000. Check it out.
Are you there, Christine?
Yeah, Siri's nosy.
She is. Uh, anyway, 9,000 pound bull that was friendly, like Benny, and his wife went there and had petted him and everything, and turned around and started weed eating. Well, he attacked his wife, and threw her up in the air and everything. And he saw it and ran outside and had to shoot that bull because he was killing his wife. And he said that after when they get around 3 years old, that they get dangerous, and you got to get rid of them or put them down. And he said that he hated to do it, but it was like $9,000 bull. He has high dollar bulls. Oh,
Well,
Lisa, baby.
it's either you or them. I mean,
Love you too, honey. Love you too. Thank you. God
love
bless
you. Who
you.
was that? I
B.
can't see the chat at all.
Lisa B. Thank you,
Lisa
Lisa.
B.
Love you,
Thank you,
baby.
Lisa B.
Love you too.
We love
So
you.
yeah, I know that when my neighbor over here and then the other neighbor that lives close to him, their bulls got in a fight and they went up there to shoot. And they didn't have to shoot them, but yeah, it's just after 3 years, you got to get rid of them or do something. And Benny he was going on 3 years old, and he snapped. He broke the whole back of the barn out, and so it it's it's heartbreaking. I mean, to look up there and he's not up there, but now his baby looks like him. I his baby has gotten so big.
Did Clementine have a baby yet?
No,
She hasn't?
no, I don't know what happened with her.
Huh.
She blood coming out of her bottom. I don't know.
Maybe
Trying to
maybe
miscarry.
they were mating.
I don't know. But she acted like she was pushing. You remember I went out there and she acted like she was pushing and everything. And
Yeah.
now she's running around the hill and
Huh.
she was
Well,
just
does she
premature.
look pregnant?
No, not really.
Oh. Well, maybe they just,
She was.
you know,
Maybe she's not ready. That's what I was thinking. Maybe she's trying to miscarry. I don't know.
or she could have been on her period.
Maybe she wasn't on her period. I'm not sure. I
Because
don't know.
animals bleed. You do know animals bleed when they go into season, right?
That's true. That is true.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought she was going to have a baby for sure. And I kept her in here all night. By that morning, whoo, she was stinking up the house. So
She
we had
was
to put her
she was
back.
happy. She was like, "Oh yeah, I get to come in on one of the coldest nights."
I know she was cooling out by the fire. But if she is pregnant, she'll give birth the next couple months. She always gives birth to a spring baby. So I don't know. It was weird,
Huh.
but
I bet
yeah,
you she was in heat.
she could have been. I don't know.
Yeah. I bet.
Daisy's pregnant for sure for Benny's baby. We are getting Benny's baby castrated within
Yeah.
the
I
couple
mean, if
weeks.
you're going to keep them and you don't want them to go into season.
And he's still small enough to get castrated as well. Now, I heard that a bull decides what the sex of the gender of the baby is. So if that's true, we'll probably have another bull calf when Daisy has this new baby. Um, But my neighbor told me, or the one that's got the cows told my husband, that artificially inseminating is just $300, and you can pick out the gender and what kind of bull you want to do it. And that's a lot cheaper than keeping a bull, in my opinion. So we might choose to artificially inseminate Daisy from now on and just not have a Holstein because they said Holsteins are more dangerous. Holstein and Jerseys are more dangerous than Angus. And so the only bull we're going to end up keeping is going to be Baby G. Milky, Daisy's baby, and Whiskey's going.
Oh, you decided to let Whiskey go?
Well, we might breed him maybe once or twice with Daisy, but then after that we're getting rid of him because I'm not going to have another Benny situation.
It seems like Daisy's had only boys, hasn't she?
Yeah, maybe with Whiskey she'll have a girl because
Yeah.
she's pregnant by Benny right now. She's currently pregnant by Benny.
Hey,
So,
Daisy, I'm gonna have to drop off real quick. One of my boys are calling.
okay.
All right,
Thanks
love
for
y'all.
coming. Love
You're
you.
welcome. Love you. Bye.
Bye. Guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and jump off here too. I'll be back tonight. I know I'll be back on here just having a general talk about things tonight, but I will be doing a live on Beautiful Design showing y'all how to make those Hostess cupcakes. They're really quite easy. If you guys want to subscribe to that channel over there, go on over there. I did post 2 antique videos today. Make sure you watch them. Thrift store antique videos. Make sure they're just short, so they're not long. Make sure you watch them and stay tuned, stay tuned, stay tuned. I will be showing y'all how to make those Hostess cupcakes. But I love y'all. Y'all stay prayed up, stay safe out here on these YouTube streets. They're dangerous, they're gangster. Stay tuned. We will be here is Beautiful Designs linked if anybody wants to go sub up to that channel. I'd be much appreciated. Um, y'all stay tuned. We're going the next few weeks we are going to be covering this case with Harmony Montgomery. I just wanted to give y'all a little bit of an overview of the case before the court, the trial actually starts tomorrow. So stay prayed up, stay safe on these YouTube streets. Daisy, don't keep us waiting. I won't. I promise I won't. Uh, and God bless y'all and pray for these little babies. Pray, pray, pray. Vote Ronald McDonald for 2024 presidency. Miss Daisy, you got too far all the mods, my friend. Oh my gosh, Ronald, you're funny. Ronald McDonald for 2024 presidency. So I love you guys. Uh, let's pray that little baby Harmony gets some justice and that that they can find her and lay her to rest. I pray she's in one piece, but it don't sound like that she is. But y'all stay prayed up. I love y'all. Stay tuned. I will be back. God bless and good night, y'all. Or good evening. Bye.